Oh, shit. The stock market looks bad. Dina, thank you for the 5 gifted. Whoa. Can we take a moment for the lighting real quick? Hold on. I got the beard trimmed down. I got the skin looking clear. I got the hair, the curls. I got the mousse in. Come on. Can we take a moment really quick? I'm not trying to be that guy, but like, can we take a moment, man? What's good, baby? Yeah. It's that kind of day. It's been a while since I whipped this out. Okay. It's been a while since I whipped this thing out. Okay. And I felt like a 1% down move on the S&P 500 was the right type of time to whip this thing out. 2008 global financial crisis. Shout out to praying.com. They actually sent me this. I actually owe them a shout out. I never gave them a shout out. Maybe we could clip this. Praying.com. They actually sent me this. They sent me this hoodie in an Uber before I moved. I DM'd the founder and I was like, bro, he didn't even follow me. He followed me back. And I was like, bro, please, I need a hoodie. It's sold out. Please get me the hoodie. And he was like, where do you live? And I was like, LA. And he said, what's your address? Here's my address. And he said, cool, Uber's on the way. Sent it. Go. Thank you. Didn't even ask for a shout out. That's my fucking goat. Shout out to praying.com. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the fucking stream. It's a big day today. It's a Thursday. We are rounding out a crazy week. Every minute, second, hour, millisecond that passes, I think we're getting closer to like some sort of climax, either direction, either Trump triple taco supreme or some level of escalation, which is just not good. You kind of know where I stand on what I think is going to happen. I think the most important press conference of this entire war just happened. And there were some Trump comments that were made that are, I would go with, particularly jarring. And so we're going to talk about a lot of those. We're going to spend some time today doing some history. I want to go back. We have a comprehensive history of every Trump taco that's ever happened. We have a lot to get into. We have a lot to cover. Crypto looks like fucking dog shit. I'm so sick of crypto. It looks like fucking shit, man. It looks like shit. I sold Tau. It's actually higher than where I sold it. Sold the bottom. Crypto looks like fucking shit. But stocks look worse. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm a little bit like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's 65 degrees in New York City today, and I was walking around, and I'm just like in the mood to just be devious. Like I'm in the mood to cause problems. Jack, thanks for the 5 gifted. I'm just like in the mood to cause problems today. I don't know what to say about it. I'm just like down for it. I'm in the mood to cause some problems. I'm not in the mood to stir the pot. Bro, it's 65 degrees in New York. I walk outside and I'm like, man, maybe the world isn't so bad. Maybe it's not so bad, but then I open TradingView and I'm like, oof, maybe it is so bad. Is my tweaking or TG skin got way better? No, bro. It's the fucking lighting, bro. I've been getting nerfed by my own production team. I've been getting nerfed in my own stream room by the fucking production. I look good. I always look good. And for whatever reason, the lighting looks fucking terrible, bro. Yeah, I look tanner. I'm not that pale. I looked pale. Everyone was clowning me. My hair was looking bad. Everything was looking bad. Then you dialed. It's like, oh, threadguy, forgot to turn the lights on. Then I turned it on. And I fucking look like a superstar. And so that's part of the reason I think we're trading well. Is like Pump Fund, Bink, Zcash, Bink, Palantir, Bink, Tesla, Bink, Tau, Bink. Part of the reason I feel like we're trading well is because we look good. Honestly, it's part of the game. Like thanks for the raid. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've been going through my phone and I saw myself on the camera and I started going through my phone and answering like slide-in DMs I haven't answered in a month. I got some brutal responses too. I got a couple pretty bad ones, a couple KYS, but it's that type of time, you know. It's like it's New York City. It's 65. I got a KYS. I'm not gonna lie. Today I did. And Loki fired me up too. Like I was ready to like, all right, let's fucking stream. Yeah, I got one today. A KYS. But I'm like, I walked outside. It was 65 degrees. I got a coffee. I sipped it once, a black cold brew with a little milk in there. And I walked back outside. I look at the sun and I'm like, whose drama can I escalate right now? Like, What pot can I stir right now is how I walked outside. I just started going through my text and just March 3rd answer, March 1st answer, February I'm just like answering February shit. So I'm ready to go. On that note, roll call. Who's here, man? Chunky Nuts, what's good? Wavy. One Spicy Meatball, Teo, Cole Money, Viblet, OCJR. It's a confusing one. I'm not gonna lie. Side, what's good? Capex, what's good? Viblet. Who's got the Capex is a crazy name. Jackson Ray, Sparky, Teo, Squid, Hidden Character, Seth Rogen, Jalen, Narlo, what's good? Lad, Banco, what's good? Seth, what's good? Cyrus, where's Pipe Bomb at? Where's Pipe Bomb at? What are you supposed to do with this one? I'm not gonna lie. Like I had a text I left undelivered saying, can I FaceTime you tonight on March 2nd? And so I thought about it. I'm like, oh, fuck, I kind of wanted to answer that. And so I go look at my phone and I replied. And I was like, I'm still waiting on it. KYS. I'm like, it's 65 degrees. Fuck it. What's the play there, though? Like, damn, TSA line hella long. I've been in Miami, stuck in Miami for 3 months. I replied. I said, I'm still waiting for it. I said, I'm still waiting for it. 30 days later. 30 days later, right? But usually, if they didn't want to reply, they wouldn't reply. Got the reply. I replied to it. And I was like, don't let me do it alone. I said, don't let me do it alone. Don't let me do it alone. But all seriousness, welcome back to the stream. It's so good to see all beautiful faces, Hidden Character, DNAP, everybody. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to get into today. 30 days later is criminal. What's the cutoff? I feel like after 30 days, though, you got to just... Wait, you know what I sent her? This is what I sent her. Hold on. Let's derail real quick. This is what I sent her. She said KYS. I said, don't let me do it alone. She said, don't worry. I don't care that much. And I replied. I said, don't let me do it alone. She said, I don't care that much. And so I replied with this.
To San Antonio, man. Will you give me 5 minutes? This is before anybody knew who I was, right? No books, no kind of notoriety. So they're like, no, don't come by. But see, that was interest. To me, that's interest. No, I'm not interested. Not interested.
So not interested to you is interest.
Well, it is. It says not interested. Not is an adjective to describe interest.
Oh, my God.
Right? So it's a level of interest.
So if someone says they're not
I have,
interested...
on a scale from 0 to 10, what interest level do you have? None. That is a level.
Right.
Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You with me? A few minutes ago, he didn't know he
She said bye, and I said, okay, so that means hey, right? That means it's a level of interest. But yeah, welcome back. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get serious. Nothing about this is not serious. Let's get fucking serious. I don't even know where to start today. I have a bunch of... Let's get serious. There's nothing to joke about today. There's no jokes. There's nothing to joke about today. It's serious. It's Black Monday, but it's a Thursday. Let me retweet our tweet to let everyone know that we're live. Where should I start? Let's what's crazy, by the way, chat? We're gonna get to Hegseth and shit in a minute. Just like I start the stream and I try to buy as much time as humanly possible before I have to talk about Pete Hegseth. It's my goal every day. I set a timer, like a stopwatch right when we start. And I'm like, how much time can I kill before I have to say Pete Hegseth for the first time? I got through 12 and a half minutes today. 3 of that was an intro song. I wasn't even on the camera. I try to beat as much time as humanly possible. Stacks, what's good, baby? Pete Hegseth comes out, says we're negotiating with bombs. Not exactly what you want to see. So Tom Brady, XBT, what's good? Chat, I linked one of my friends yesterday, on Friday. I actually didn't tell you the story. I linked one of my friends on Friday, and he's a bonds trader at one of these big banks. He's a bonds trader. And so I don't know anything about his world. He doesn't know anything about my world. But I was talking to him about it, and bro, the bonds trading world is literally the pits. Like, what this guy does is the pits. It's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. He's on the phone, and someone calls him like, yo, I need like 3 bill. I need 3 yards. And he's like on the thing negotiating, like, fill here, move your call over here, fill here. Yo, I need 2 yards. Fill here, gets filled here. Honestly, the sickest thing of all time. And one day, I hope I get an opportunity to work like on the trading floor. I'm not gonna lie. Like, at some point when my streaming career is done, I want to work on a trading floor so bad. So bad. I want to do it so bad, bro. So bad. Bonds, absolutely not. I have no interest in trading bonds. That shit sounds boring as literal fuck. But I want to work on the trading floor so bad. At some point, it's gonna happen. All right, we got an hour. I have a few intro topics I gotta play, and then we have that guy Mark, who makes $10 million to stop streaming to work on the floor. Can I tell you something real quick? I was thinking about this today. When I was a kid, like when I was like a little kid, as early as I have memories, like you think about what you want to do when you're older, right? And so I used to be like, I want to go to the NBA, but like even when I was like 5, I knew I was like white and unathletic when I was like 6. I mean, I could really hoop, but I knew I was white and unathletic when I was 5, and I just like knew that wasn't happening. I used to like dream about like playing D3 basketball. Like when I was 7, I was like, I'm gonna play at like St. Mary's College, right? Like I was not thinking about the league, but I used to think to myself, I was a little kid, like I was like 6, and I was thinking to myself, when I'm older, I hope I have the most stressful job possible. Like, I just want to be stressed out. And I used to think about myself living like this, like all glass penthouse. I'm 6 years old, 7 years old. This is a true story. In like this all glass penthouse, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just like up on like 2 phones, like screaming at this guy, briefcase in hand, laptop open, and I'm just like perpetually stressed. Like I used to dream about it. I'd be like, I cannot wait to be stressed. And so maybe that's an anecdote for why I'm fucking stressed all the time. But that's also how we end up in trading. And so once we do clear 50 and we can stop streaming, you're going to see me on the trading floor, 100%. All right, market closes in 3 minutes. That means I have 3 minutes to play some slop. Here's how we're going to start the stream.
All right, guys, it's day 14 of day trading. Let's get it. So I learned a new strategy. It's called Bollinger Bands with RSI. So let me explain, right? So I think we actually might have a setup. When it goes below, let's see. So the line, that very bottom line is at like the 24. I don't know what the 24 number means. I don't know what it means. It just means market is going to shift.
By the way, I don't fucking know either.
Means market is going to shift up, I think. Also, one of the wicks has to close below the lower Bollinger Band, I think. I'm pretty sure. So let's put in a long position and let's see what happens. So
he's more honest than all you motherfuckers that rip paid groups.
So we put our take profit at that high and the stop loss at that low. So this should be a pretty good setup. It's kind of just consolidating right now. I don't really know what's happening, but it is going up. Oh. We are about to hit take profit. We're so close. This is an immaculate trade setup. This is immaculate. This is fucking immaculate. Stop edging me. Yes! We hit take profit. That strategy was OP. I'm going to keep using this one. Follow for day 15.
The kids are going to be all right, man. You know, the boomers grew up and thought to themselves, I can't wait to earn 7% yield, 3% yield on a high savings retirement fund in my 401k and watch personal finance videos. And the kids now are growing up and are like, I cannot wait to get a fucking Hyperliquid account and rip perps leverage with Bollinger Bands, with Elliott Waves. They're watching Blunt's Capital. This is just the new gen, bro. This is the new gen. This is what they want. Everyone will trade, bro. The kids are going to fucking be all right. I promise you that. The kids are going to be all right. I learned how to trade options when I didn't learn well, but I started trading options when I was 16 because I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and just wiped out account after account after account after account. They don't tell you that trading is actually like really fucking hard. They don't tell you that. They don't. You have to find it out for yourself. What else do I have in the intro I care about before? Oh, we'll watch this. Then we'll do stock market close. We'll start here. Market closes right after this.
No bubble in technology. Absolutely no bubble in technology.
Sorry to do this, but we didn't start the fire. It was mine.
Got me a CS degree on a roll. MIT moved to Palo Alto, opportunity knocked. Thought I had the perfect plan. Took a job at Webvan. Traded in my 20s for a worthless pile of tech stock. Suffered through the market crash. Lost a giant wad of cash. Pink slips, burger flips. Would you like some fries? Happy days are here again. Larry Page, Sergey Brin. Time to write a business plan so I can be like those guys. Here comes another father.
Hey, that's Kevin Rose. That's Kevin Rose, yeah? Dig.com's Kevin Rose. No fucking way.
It's a monster rally all around the valley. First you need a buzzword, then a second and a third. Pick at least 2 industries to revolutionize. Find yourself an engineer, feed him pizza, buy him beer. Give him just a fraction of the pie. Need a good domain name, must be cheap, can't be lame. Something cool like Flickr, Mevo, Wiki, Mahalo, Bevo. Telephone without the T, dig book with the triple G. Make your elevator pitch, cut it up and flip the switch. Here comes another father.
I thought this was gonna be way better, by the way. Last thing I want to say before we start the stream is, well, actually, we're gonna watch this. Is the last thing we're gonna do. One thing I want to say is that Gavin Newsom, the face of liberalism, California, making a post and saying we got a call from Grindr after this and said your team was their biggest users. Congrats. Like, calling somebody gay unironically is arguably one of the fastest cultural shifts I've ever seen. Like, I've never transitioned this quick is unprecedented. Gavin Newsom calling somebody gay, like, as an insult is unreal. What happened? It's crazy. Like, well, actually what happened, you can't use that as an insult anymore. Like, yeah, I don't even know. I think top on, I would say top on the right and being edgy. Being an edgy right had one of the fastest counter trends of all time. Gavin Newsom just, like, giga topped it. Retarded is also topped. I don't even feel like edgy saying it anymore. I also noticed, I think I say it too much. Do I say it too much? I deleted a tweet earlier when I made a tweet and I was like, half my timeline's talking about nuclear war. The other half is talking about Meme Scope Monday, and they're both fucking retarded. And I was like, it sounded like a little like aggressive. I didn't like the way it came off my tongue, so I deleted it. All right, in the market close, we're gonna just be dark today. It's Friday, or it's Thursday. The market's down. I'm in the mood to be dark. We're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna start the stream. Actually, start the stream.
When's it get better?
Tell me if this is the sentiment you have on your feed, because I'm getting a lot of this right now.
When's it get better? Like, that's what, like, bro, motherfuckers are myself that every day. I'm like, where's the goal? Like, when's it?
I'm just gonna say, when we play these videos and talk about the blatant manipulation, like in 4K, and I keep saying that these things are gonna have implications. I still don't really know what they are, but the commentary is definitely picking up. You're seeing it all over the place. Just like I'm just seeing a lot of normal people start to get loud about this stuff. They're frustrated. You're seeing people that never talk about the market and market manipulations talk about the market and market manipulations. You're seeing Fuentes talk about oil manipulating. Like, it's starting to get downstream aggressively. And it's one of those things you can't really pull back. And I hate to, honestly, I'm actually having a pretty good time, but I know most people aren't having a good time. So it's hard to, like, say you're having a good time when it's just, like, not the general case. And so let's talk about the market, because market close into Thursday is a pretty nasty one. I'm going to be fucking completely honest. Here's where we're at. Is SPY down 1.7%. It's one of the deepest dumps we've had in a while, almost 2%, which is not fucking nothing. G-Man, thanks for the gifted. It's absolutely not nothing. We're down 1.7%. It's and 645 support, if you want to even call it that. And it's holding on by, I mean, look, this thing is holding on by a thread right here. It really is. This thing is holding on by a thread right now, first and foremost. This is just the broader market. I want to say something, by the way, is if you remember when Bitcoin crashed on this move, it was this final, like, my chart's a mess. This final, like, just scam, just crush, where we went from 73 to like 59 in a day. I came on stream the next day, and I don't want to say I was like sounding the alarms, but I came on stream, and if you were here, you remember. I said one of two things just happened. Either crypto just died alone by itself, a deep, slow, lonely, painful death, or it's front running the rest of the market is about to get crushed. PSY, thanks for the gifted. I said one of the two things just happened. Either everything else is going to die, or crypto just died by itself alone. And it's starting to look like the former. It really is. It's starting to look like it just front ran. And now, I heard this like really interesting theory, right? Where it's like, it was on a Thicky space. I'm not going to articulate it well, but this guy came up and he asked a question, and he was basically talking about how the answer is always written in the charts. Like, it's always written in the charts. And so SPY had looked, and SPX had looked really bad, and it had this rounded top, and it's been weak. Everyone's been bearish. We had the Citrini article. Like, there's been like infinite. We have private credit, and we have the SaaS names getting destroyed, and we have PE compressing, and you have like CapEx tapped out. You had like everything you could ever have narrative wise as to why you should be bearish, and the chart looked horrible, but it just wasn't going. And then boom, all of a sudden, war breaks out. We go to war, we start striking Iran, and then SPY starts kind of falling off a cliff. It hasn't really happened yet, but it starts looking like it's going to fall off a cliff. And there's this like theory of like, I'm going to explain it really bad. If someone could find an article, we could read about it, where like it's written in the charts that, you know, the joke about everything's priced in, don't even ask the question, it's priced in. That war was like priced in, and this was why the market was so down bad or looking so weak in correlation with everything else. And like the people that knew we were about to go to war, or the people on the front lines, are like moving the biggest money, and they're selling first, and they're creating the rounded top. And then as things get worse, it gets worse, it gets worse. And then boom, we're actually at war, and war's been like priced in for months. And that's why SPYs looked topped. I don't know if that's the dumbest thing I've ever said in my mouth, but like this, like it's written in the charts thing seems to play out every single time, both directions, right? Crypto's really strong. 2024, boom, we have ETFs. And it's like, it's already been true. I just read this book. I just finished it. Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. Okay. This book, I hate trading books. I think they all suck. This book is 273 of the greatest pages of literature that you will ever come across in your entire life. I genuinely feel blessed by God to live in the same timeline that my eyes get to grace over these pages. I'm not joking. I genuinely feel like I was blessed from the universe and God himself to allow me to read these pages of literature in this timeline, in this lifetime, at this age. And one of the things, you know, the book takes like a weird turn at the end. And at the end, it takes this turn towards Jesse Livermore just becomes a master manipulator of markets. And this is like his whole thing. And like one of the things he says at the end is like kind of dark, but he's just talking about how like there's no such thing as an organic move in markets. Every move up is insider manipulation, front run, and every move down is insider manipulation and front run. And there's no such thing as like a stock doesn't go down just because like bearish market conditions. It's like, no. everything goes down individually on their own accord because the insiders and the people closest to the stock are front running news either direction, earnings either direction, reports either direction. And so one of the things he says at the end is that he doesn't believe it's possible to be a successful speculator over a long period of time, like consistently, because there's no way to 100% guarantee success in either direction of either trade because every move is manipulated at all times. It's kind of a crazy take, which you could look at both directions. You could look at it with doom and gloom. Oh my God, everything's a Ponzi. Or you could look at it with deep optimism and be like, oh my God, everything's a Ponzi. I can identify it. I can find mega church spots. I can trade it. And so the book ends like a little bit weird. It ends a little bit weird. He goes on this crazy like manipulation arc. And the last thing he does is basically figure out how to prop up the price of stocks to get insiders out of these big bags. And so, yeah, it ends. And then, I mean, he kills himself. Rest in peace. He kills himself at the end as a bear. He blows up $100 million, which is like $2 billion, I think, equivalent now just for inflation. And he can't stop trading. And that's how it ends. It's pretty dark, but it's one of the greatest pieces of literature I've ever read. No, he doesn't say he killed himself in the book. It doesn't end with that. Reminiscent of a stock operator. I will never recommend a trading book to you, but this is seriously like the greatest literature of all time. There's nothing better. There's just nothing better. Don't even ask the question. The answer is yes, it's priced in. Think Amazon will beat next earnings? That's already been priced in. You were going to drive through at Mickey D's and found that the burgers are made of human meat, priced in. You think insiders don't already know that? The market is an all-powerful, all-encompassing being that knows the very inner workings of your subconscious before you were even born. Your very existence was priced in decades ago. That's just how it is. And so, great book, but it really speaks to this whole, also Brent off a cliff. I wonder what just happened. We're going to get into it. It really speaks to this whole, it's written in the charts. Everything's written in the charts, both directions. It's written in the charts. It's written in the charts. It's written in the charts. So, Truth Social Candle. What do we got? Damn, I didn't even get to fucking talk about what I wanted to talk about yet. Trump pausing energy plant destruction for 10 days until Monday, April 6th. As per Iranian government request, please let the statement serve to represent that I'm pausing the period of energy plant destruction by 10 days to Monday, April 6, 2026 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Talks are ongoing. And despite despite statements to the contrary by the fake news media and others, they're going very well. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Let's see where we're at. This is just like, that was a very weak taco. Weak taco. Weak taco. Oh my God. Weak taco. That was weak. We're still going to bomb them. We're just going to like wait a couple more days. That was very weak. Sorry. Completely weak. So that was very weak. So that's sort of my rant on it's written in the charts. And so here's how we closed. Thought I fucking call this shit play-by-play, bro. I don't want to call you on the stream, but brother, no, we've called this shit on, like, what are you talking about? You were a 40 chess guy until last week. Like, what are you talking about? Actually, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You were camp 40 chess, like, as of 3 days ago. All right, look, here's where we closed. SPY down 1.7%. Q's down 2.4. Big tech is getting fucking crushed. IGV down 1, which is a little bit surprising. The Dow down another percent. Nasdaq down 1.6. Individual names. Crypto first. Hyperliquid down a bunch, but looks decent. How much oil came out of the SPR? 2 million barrels a day, but it's useless. Silver getting crushed. Sol getting crushed. Everything. Dollar pretty strong, but just fell off a cliff there. What do we care about? Gold down 2.6%. No, I don't trade pharma, but I would like to. Bitcoin down 3, but obviously we get the nice candle on a fake taco. This is crazy. Bond yields up 1.6% in the 10-year. Tau, which I've closed, which I will talk about in a minute, is nice. Looks good, actually. It looks really good here. And then stretch almost over 100. Where are we at? Yeah, look, just completely ignores the taco. And then individual names. Palantir getting crushed with software. Just brutal. Defense 50-50. This is the ugly one. Jesus, what happened here? That's why I can't trade this like fertilizer stuff. Gap down in chemicals. Nvidia down 4. SanDisk down 11. Just disgusting. Microsoft just disgusting. Oracle down 2. Micron down 7. Meta down 8%, bro. Oil is not collapsing. Oil looks fine. It just fucking ate that candle like a fucking bitch. Meta's down 8%, gentlemen. It's starting to get nasty. Amazon down 2. Tesla down 3.5. Google down 3. AMD had a great... Look at this chart. AMD had a crazy gap up, 8% day yesterday, and then down 8% today. Just look at this. Disgusting. Gap up, gap right back down. Intel down 7, and then individual names. Open Door down 4. Rivian, who cares? Zeta, who cares? SoFi down 4. HIMS flat. Figma up 5, which is like what? Just the chop of fucking hell in crypto or in stocks right now. The stock, the chop of death. Roblox down 5. Who cares? Hood down 3. I don't even care about it. Like, there's like 5 stocks I care about. Just the chop of absolute hell. And so you guys want to know what just happened here? By the way, you want to know what just happened? The law of diminishing fucking tacos. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. Okay, you know what just happened on this Trump taco announcement? This is what just happened. This is what just happened. It did fucking nothing. It did nothing. You remember that when I got the whiteboard out 3 days ago and I said one of 3 things are going to happen. He's going to invade. He's going to actually Supreme Taco pull out, or he's going to taco, and we're going to get to a moment where the taco does nothing and we actually go higher after it. And that's when everything's lost. That is when everything is lost. Okay. And gentlemen, we are coming fucking closer to that. That's when everything is lost. The tacos do not work anymore. I'm of the belief, honestly, I'm of the belief right now that today and today only is the first day that I think real panic has started to set in a little bit. Real panic has started to set in the market a little bit. Today was the first day people are starting to be like, oh fuck. Fuck. This is a little bit of a oh fuck type of day, I think. You could just feel it. Base 16Z made the tweet a week ago, and he said it's the first day panic. It wasn't. This is the first day I think panic is setting in, and I don't say this to be doomer, by the way. Let's just give it straight. I mean, let's just talk about it straight. Is like, look at this is why is if you are a bear, you're not too late. SPY is down fucking 7%, bro. It's not even down. It's down 7 fucking percent. It's down 7%. And so we, my friends, are knee deep in the diminishing taco return. So here's what I want to say. This is going to make, this actually helps the take that I am bringing to stream today. First and foremost, what the fuck is the White House doing with these videos? What is the White House Twitter account right now? They fucking deleted it. It's brutal. I wish they didn't delete it. The White House Twitter account right now is like the most schizomania thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. They just tweeted. It's just they're deleting all of them. It's insane. Look at this last one. Who's live right now? Greek Independence Day. Is anyone here Greek? They just tweeted this. I mean, what the fuck? What's happening? They're just tweeting like dumbass shit, completely ridiculous stuff. It's brutal. But that's not important. What is important is some war updates. Okay, and so there was one escalation happened last night of Israel ripping attacks into Iran. And this is part of the problem with Trump tacos is like Trump saying that the U.S. is not going to attack Iran does not mean Iran is done being attacked. Does not mean oil is safe. Okay? Because the way things are going, Israel acts on its own. And so this came out this morning. And Trump basically says Iran, here's the post. The Iranian negotiators are very different and strange. They're begging us to make a deal, which they should be doing since they have been militarily obliterated with zero chance of a comeback, and yet they publicly say that they are only looking at our proposal. Wrong. They better get serious soon before it is too late, because once that happens, there is no turning back, and it won't be pretty. Okay, what is this strange? What do you mean they're strange? Why are they strange? It's like a unique way of putting that. So he makes this announcement. They're begging for a deal. They're lying to everybody, and they don't get serious. There's no turning back. Okay. Next, Trump comes out and says our allies are all retarded. NATO nations have done absolutely nothing to help with the lunatic nation now militarily decimated of Iran. It's pretty contradictory here. He goes back and forth between we crushed Iran and then why won't our allies help us? NATO's useless. We crushed Iran. Why won't our allies help us? BB, thanks for the gift. Good to see you, brother. The USA needs nothing from NATO. But never forget, this is a very important point in time. Look at that full taco retrace. I'm not going to lie, this one is significant. This one is significant. I got a tweet. This tweet retarded. How do you spell this? How do you fucking spell this? Wait, what did Chumba just tweet? This feels significant. I'm not going to lie. What did Chumba just tweet? You were right. Just too early. Yeah, I was. I fucking was. Hold on. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. This is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. This is like the most significant price action I think we've seen. Why did you exit Tau too soon? Because I think we're gonna go to war. I really do. I'm not. I didn't want. I'll talk about the Tau trade after we actually have a Tau guest coming on in 40 minutes. We got to get through a bunch of stuff before because this is important. All right. So. Yeah, I mean that's the most important candle I think we've seen. I'm not gonna lie. I think it is. I think it's the most important. That was like this is the least effective taco candle by far, at least up until this point. And as bad as I want a long oil, and as many times as I've been in this trade and made money from it, it's one of the you can't be too early, you can't be too early to it. All right. So this happened next. Nothing crazy, right? Just like or nothing like new. Same stuff. Trump escalation. Then this announcement is when we started with the press conference, which was kind of gnarly, bro. It was Rubio, it was Hegseth, and it was Trump. And Hegseth comes on. I mean, he says this is it's pretty brutal. He goes, "We welcome and pray for a deal with Iran. In the meantime, the U.S. will negotiate with bombs." Follow up. Iran gave the U.S. 8 boats of oil, which this was like a little bit confusing to me as to why this is being celebrated so much. Like Iran is giving us a gift, contrary to we are in complete control over the strait, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get to my point in a second. Let's play this one real quick.
This is stuff for the history books. This is stuff for legacy. Mr. President, you are acting now to ensure future generations do not have to live under the threat of a nuclear-armed Iran.
It's just weird when the guy who runs war is talking about legacy plays. It's like this isn't like a legacy like hookup or like a legacy like game in a rec league. This is like war. It's not like a legacy date. It's like it's war. And so that gets played. And then this is what I think is the most important clip from the entire interview, and it's honestly not even fucking close. Let's just check in real quick because this is so gnarly, bro. This is fucking gnarly. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we just watched history. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. This is a big deal. I'm sorry. This is a big deal. If this holds and goes green, it really is. It genuinely is. If this holds, this is the most important clip from the whole interview. Watch this clip real quick, and I'm going to talk about it.
Nobody thought we could get to 50,000 or 7,000 in the respective indices. Nobody thought that was going to happen, but it did in the first year. They said it couldn't happen in 4 years, that you wouldn't hit 50 in 4 years, but you could maybe get close. We hit it in the first year. And I said, this is a good time to solve a problem that you had to solve. And that's what I did. But the gas tax, people have talked about it. It's something we have in our pocket if we think it's necessary.
And if I can follow real quickly, you just recently took off, Secretary Duffy, 17,000 truckers off the road that quite frankly could not speak English, which is a safety issue.
Yeah.
Could we ever?
So Trump says that he references the market 2 ways. First thing he says is that the Dow was 50,000, SPX was 7,000. This was a good time to solve some problems. Crazy, number one. That's a crazy number one. This is a good time to solve some problems, he fucking says. Okay? But the second thing he says is the most, I'm sorry, but I want to just set the stage, is that feel pretty strongly right now, more than ever, that the only way to trade this market is you do what Trump says. You just do. Floating again, this is the reason I stopped doing the oil longs, and I'll only do it if it really spirals out of control and they can't control the market anymore. Ideally, some backdated futures. But we're trading what Trump says. We're trading what Trump says. 100,000%. We're trading what Trump says. You have to. If you're going to go against Trump, you are asking to just be stopped. You just are. You just are. And this is the jurisdiction I'm operating under for if we're taking positions. And he made the most significant comment of the whole thing, okay? And he says it a bunch of times now, but this one just like hit me as I'm like, okay. He says, one, he thought oil would go up more and stocks would go, he thought oil would go up more and stocks would go down more. And then Trump shows confidence in the American president. And so, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, he's made it pretty fucking clear that we are as close to severe escalation as we've ever been, right? Like before it was like talking about troops, then it was like sending troops, then it was sending like significantly more, and then it was like delaying until Saturday. And we sort of had this Saturday date circled for a while. But he comes out and he says he thought oil would go up more and stocks would go down more. This to me is the president of the United States looking us in the face and saying oil is about to fucking rip, stocks are about to fucking dump, and don't say I didn't tell you so. And he thinks, in my opinion, that when it's time, he can just rip a Supreme Taco and he can V us back. That's what I believe. And I know he's been saying this, but he's sort of like pulling back the tacos. Like he isn't even really trying anymore. Diminishing returns have hit. They're not really working. And he's sort of like stopped. He's just recycling the same headlines we've been recycling about like they want a deal, I don't want a deal. We'll hit energy. Maybe we won't. Like he was talking about hitting their power plants a week ago. We're talking about striking their power plants on Carg Island. And so my read on this is he is basically saying, because I think we're going escalation. I think they're going to send it. I really do. It just feels like that's where we're getting. It feels like we're getting there. He's front running this by saying oil is going to rip. I keep saying, I thought it'd go higher. I thought it'd go higher. I thought it'd go higher. And he keeps saying, I thought stocks would go lower. I thought stocks would go lower. I thought stocks would go lower. Well, maybe at some point it's time to fucking take him seriously. I don't know. At what point do we just take him seriously? And I think that he thinks, is it true or not, that when we hit the Supreme Taco, I stole this from Evans, I love it, Supreme Taco Supreme, that he can V-rip it back. And if he can or can't, I don't really know. But he seems to think that. And so in the history here, Liberation Day, I think, is the last example we have. I don't want to really debate with you. Like, what do you have to say? Like, I feel like I'm seeing it though. It's like you want to debate me, but I don't really want to debate you. We've just like had our finger on this the whole way. Like he's telling us what to do. He's saying long oil, short stocks. He's screaming it. He looked me in my eyes and said, threadguy, long oil, short stocks. And so the last time this happened, which I think is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in financial markets in the history of my life. Yeah, I'm a youngin', whatever. Is the last time during Liberation Day, he said, fucking sell stocks. And then he tweeted to buy them.
Pain in the market. At some point, you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put. Is there a threshold?
I think your question is so stupid. I think it's I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
He said it. He said sell stocks. Sometimes you need to take medicine to fix something. Sell. He said sell, you fucking retards. That's what he said.
Pain in the market. At some point, you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put. Is there a threshold?
I think your question is so stupid. I think it's I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. And we have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen. They took our businesses, they took our money, they took our jobs, they moved it to Mexico, they moved it to Canada, they moved a lot of it to China, and it's not sustainable. We're not going to do it. Now we have hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country. On a monthly basis, it's pouring, it's already started because they put tariffs on. And eventually it's going to straighten out and our country will be solid and strong again.
Bro, he's saying we're going to take the medicine, he said. What? We're going to take the medicine, he said. Like, yeah, we're going to take the fucking medicine. So then here's the Liberation Day. But the buy was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's watch this for a minute. I actually don't know what time step this is.
We wouldn't be able to do it. We import virtually.
You think he looks better in this or no?
Virtually all of our computers, phones, televisions, and electronics. We used to dominate the field, and now we import it all from different countries. A single shipyard in China now produces more ships every year than all of the American shipyards combined. Think of that. And it was a business that we used to dominate. We used to dominate it totally. In short, chronic trade deficits are no longer merely an economic problem. They're a national emergency that threatens our security and our very way of life. It's a very great threat to our country. And for these reasons, starting tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations. It's been a long time since we...
This is 11. It doesn't have a timestamp, I guess. April 8th. Yeah, this is right before. What's the exact date? April 2nd. Okay, this is before.
Even thought of that. We used to think about it a lot. We didn't think about it for many decades, and you see what's happened. For nations that treat us badly, we will calculate the combined rate of all their tariffs, non-monetary barriers, and other forms of cheating. And because we are being very kind, we're kind people, very kind. You're not so kind when you got ripped off with your salaries. My auto worker friends and my Teamster friends and all of the unions that typically voted Democrat, they're not voting Democrat anymore because worker, whether union or non-worker, they're for the Republicans now. That's what happened. But we will charge them approximately half of what they are and have been charging us. So the tariffs will be not a full reciprocal. I could have done that, yes, but it would have been tough for a lot of countries who didn't want to do that. I'd like to see the chart if you have it. Could you bring it up? I say this is our great Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Thanks, Howard. So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation.
And you think the market runs on fundamentals? His brother has a whiteboard talking about who he's going to tariff the most. Nothing runs on fundamentals. And so the market gets destroyed. 10-year goes parabolic. And what does Trump do? Well, 7 days after that video, he tweets, this is a great time to buy DJT, which I will just go out on a limb and say this is the craziest statement ever made by a sitting president in the history of the world. Ever. There's never been a crazier statement ever made in writing, in an interview, on paper, in a journal, in a newspaper. There's never been a crazier post ever made in the history of world leaders. Maybe not world leaders, but he tweets this April 9th, 2025 at 6:37 a.m. My computer's on PST for some reason. Here you go. Instant plus 11%. Goes down a little bit, gets as low as up 3, and then basically in a straight line into just like a crazy plus 41% on the S&P, bottom to top. He came out, the sitting president of the United States of fucking America came out and he said, buy stocks. You should buy stocks. What? You should buy stocks. Okay? After telling us you should sell, we are going to take our own medicine. We're going to take our medicine. You should sell. Okay? And so, yeah, the only thing that would have been crazier than this is him dropping a meme coin on Solana, but good thing that never happened. Good thing that never was a thing that could happen. And so I'm looking at this and I've been pretty, I don't know if I've been bearish. I'm not a bear. I don't short sell anything. Okay. I don't short. I'm cash or long because I just don't think I can make money being short or not well. At least I haven't really. And the same guy that told you right before tariffs we're about to drink medicine to heal, that at the pico bottom, right before tacoing tariffs, he comes out and he says, now is a great time to buy stocks. Now comes out and tells you that oil is going higher and stocks are going lower. He's kind of screaming it. He really kind of is screaming it. I don't feel like we're looking into this too much. I really don't. He's kind of screaming it. He's saying oil is going to go higher and stocks are going to go lower. You said 200 a barrel. I vote with my fucking wallet, Rasmer. I vote with my wallet. Okay, what I say and what I do are not the same thing. I vote with my wallet. And I've come on this shit, on this stream, and I have telegraphed every trade I've taken. The ones that made money, the ones I lost money. I don't have an oil long open right now. I told you exactly why I don't have an oil long right now. But there will be one. It feels like there's going to be one. It feels like there's going to be one, and it feels like he's screaming. Like, to me, what that means, when he says oil up, stocks down, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. First of all, what the fuck? It's a president. Second of all, is it feels like to me, he's just telegraphing we're going to escalate. we're going to escalate. And the market, in my opinion, the way it's been trading has been pricing in desperately he's going to pull out. It's been desperately pricing in we're going to pull out, we're going to pull out. And so I think there's a lot of like levered capital banking on we're going to pull out. That is starting to today, for the first day, think, maybe not. And then you see panic dumping. That, to me, is where we're at. There's a lot of capital that's been, like a lot of like levered capital of people that are of the belief we're going to pull out, and it's not happening. Because watch this, we're front running. Nobody wants to hold risk into the weekend, so you front run a Saturday escalation by selling on Friday, but today everyone's selling on Thursday instead of selling on Friday. The lowest down day in S&P in a month. And yeah, everybody bought puts instead of selling. Same thing that happened in crypto, bro. Everyone like got bearish after 10-10, but nobody fucking sold. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see where we're at. But that was like the most significant. I don't like love watching these Trump interviews. That was the most significant interview, I think, that the comment I think that he's given. So here's where the poly markets are at. US enter by December is basically flat, 71% and some change. By April, I think this is up. Yeah, up and then down. It got as high as 65. It's down to like 60 right now. And then by March 31st, it's still going down, 14%. And then the other market we care about is ceasefire. By April 30, what has the most volume? March 31st is the most volume. This is down to 8%, just like basically zero. But that's really soon. By April 7th, there's not much volume. April 15th has a lot of volume. Basically down only over the last couple days. What's the other one? What else has volume? May 31st has decent volume. Just down a lot. Ceasefire odds are down a lot. So I don't know. I don't fucking know, but we're getting to a climax one way or another. Escalation, Taco Supreme, or Taco doesn't really matter anymore. And this PA is pretty significant to me. Not going to lie. Pretty significant PA. So, okay, the other thing I did that is relevant, I was going to go through this. A comprehensive history of all Trump tacos. We can go over it in a second. We have 18 minutes, and then we have the guy who runs Mark, who is part of J. Cal's Tau Fund, going to come on and talk about crypto. And so I think it's a good time to say I sold my Tau. Completely sold it. I posted it in the pit. I don't really tweet about my positions. I tweeted about oil because it was fun. I don't really tweet about my positions, but I do talk about them to you guys on stream. I do talk about them in the pit. If you want to join his Telegram, I'm active in there. Here it is. I might as well share it because fuck it. Small Pepe's late to every stream, so I don't feel bad making it bigger. But I sold Tau, which was a sick trade. I sold plus 75% gainer, 4x leverage. It was like a 4-day trade. And I sold it because why did I sell it? I sold it because it just had this blow off on it was a fully attention trade. I only entered on the mega church thesis. That was it. I still don't even really know what it is. I'm interviewing a guy who runs a Tau Fund today. I still don't even really know what it is. So I strictly was buying on, wow, people outside of crypto that never talk about crypto and actually openly hate crypto are excited about this token. And so I bought it, traded it on that thesis and that thesis alone. And it was getting crazy bids. And I basically was just going to ride it until the bid stopped. And the bid stopped. I didn't really want to round trip a ton of money. And so clicked the link, lost everything. And so I sold. The other reason I sold is, I don't know, I just am getting this like weird, I'm just a ball tingle trader. I'm a ball tingle trader. And I'm just getting this weird feeling about risk assets right now. And was really, I don't know, I had a lot of size in it. Trump goes on an interview talking about how he thinks stocks are surprised stocks aren't lower and oil isn't higher. And I just like got this like, I'd rather be cash. It was a five-figure position. Easy, thanks for the gifted, brother. Yes, thanks for the gifted. And I don't know, I'm just long or cash right now. And I just got the like weird feeling about where we could escalate. And I'm like, yeah, risk on crypto is just going to get crushed if that happens. It's just going to get crushed if that happens. And so I sold. I got to stop doing this. I've gotten pretty good at buying at levels, buying on the way up. And then I stack one click sell, just full stack every sell. Like every sell I do is a full stack. So I got to probably get better at that. But yeah, let's look at this real quick. This is actually important. That's where I'm at. I'm at a Tau. So I'm basically, my only positions right now are BTC and cash. And Trump just got a full taco retrace, which is just insane. I'm sorry. How do I spell their fucking thing? K-O-B-E-I-S-S. K-O-B-E-I-S-S. This is just I'm sorry. This is just scary. It's genuinely just scary. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but it is. All right, what did they post? President Trump says he's pausing the period of energy plant destruction in Iran by 10 days until April 6th. For the second time within minutes of our call for bond market intervention and the 10-year note yield crossing 4.4%. Trump has delayed strikes. Keep watching the bond market. How did that react? Just the 10 years what he cares about exclusively? Where do I have that on here? It just like, did it even go down? Look at that kind of retraced it too. What's the line in the sand of the 10 years? At 4.4 is where he's like, okay, cool. So this is Liberation Day. This is like Liberation. He tacoed on the 9th. Yeah, he tacoed on this candle at 4.56%. On an 18% move from bottom to top. He tacoed. Full taco supreme. Liberation Day, yeah, okay, fair. It was up like 12-ish%. That's fine. It wasn't until the bond market broke on tariffs. This here, we're up like the same amount, basically, right now. And it looks, I'm not gonna lie, I don't fucking know how to trade bonds at all. This shit looks bullish. It's up the same amount. And look at just retrace it. It's crazy. This is, yeah, I mean, you kind of like, the thing about the three outcomes here is when the fake tacos start working, you have two moves left. And you have a taco supreme or just go for the jugular, bro. Raspberry, I'm about to fucking tweak, man. What are you saying? What the fuck are you saying, man? What are you saying? What are you saying? Actually, what are you saying? I'm trying to focus. I don't want to call you, bro. What the fuck are you saying? What are you saying? Fuck, man. It's just like, fuck, dude. If you're so right, show me a P&L. Show me a P&L. This is the thing. Everyone's like, oh, I know what's happening. Show me a fucking trade. It's like if you have, bro, it's like if you have the God read, show me a trade. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing, man? Look at my face. Look at my fucking face. I close oil long. Post it, bro. Just post it. Just post it. And otherwise, what's the point? What's the point? How everyone this it's just like, bro. No. You tweeted 10% oil. You didn't post the fucking trade. It's like, just post it. I don't want to call you, and I'm gonna call you. Like I'm trying to run a fucking show, man. Fuck. Oh my God, what, dude? Why?
Okay. Dude. It's not taco versus no taco, Trump taco. The 10 days to fucking not bomb energy infra is another ultimatum. It's closer to what we had last week with the 48-hour ultimatum than anything, except this time it's 10 days. Okay? This is like first and foremost. That's one of my takes. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so it's not like Trump's tacoing and the market is like there's a full taco rebound on oil. It's like it wasn't a taco. It's an ultimatum. So that's my first take. Secondly, when Trump is on the fucking when he's on the press conference saying, "Oh, like oil should be higher because," and he's like obviously priming for escalation. He's just going to escalate less than people expect. That's what I'm saying is going to happen. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't mean to fucking piss you off, but I'm just like,
Are you fucking? It worked.
well, your stream is more important than mine, bro. So what the fuck? I'm saying all this shit on my stream, play by play. I feel like I've been like extremely predictive of it, not to fucking glaze whatever, but it's like nobody fucking. I'm not getting any fucking clout. I'm not getting any fucking pee poo poo glaze. So I'm
You
just
just
like,
called me to fucking
I'm in
get
your
clout.
Okay, so let's see what happens this weekend, bro. Because I'm telling you, I agree that there's going to be an escalation, but I think it's going to be less of an escalation than what the market.
There's just no escalation from this point that isn't like a fucking ground invasion, bro. There's no more like pseudo escalation.
This is where I'm telling you you're wrong. This is where I'm telling you you're wrong. He's going to escalate. It might be some kind of strategic ground operation or something, but it's going to be something that is like less scary than what you're saying it is, but technically still an escalation. And the market's going to take it as a win because he's already priming you to freak out and be scared.
Wasn't the worst take. All right, thanks, man.
All right, good luck. I didn't mean to fucking spike your cortisol.
Yeah, it was fucking jacked up, man.
Well, I could have just called it on video in a normal way, and we could have just.
That's a serious commitment.
Bro, you've had some like random ass debates before, bro.
That's like a big time spot, you know? I mean, that's not like a free, that's a big time spot.
Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, in 4K, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be, completely incorrect in 4K. Because if I'm wrong, I give everybody in chat permission to call me a retard. Okay.
They were doing it without permission. I love you, man. Have a good one, bro. Talk soon. All right, peace. Here's the one thing I will say. Is Trump did. I love you, Rasmer, by the way. I do love you. Trump did feel hella dovish in the, like, this is a DNAP take before Rasmer, honestly. Trump did feel hella dovish during the press conference because I felt like he was acting like he could just taco supreme at any moment. Which is interesting because I don't know if he can or if he can't. But he did seem hella dovish during it. He did feel hella dovish during it. Like he was kind of like, he wasn't like trolling, but he was very much like comfy in his element, which I don't feel like he's been every step of the way. And so maybe at this point we are just over indexing, but man, it's like, it's 65 degrees in New York City. Okay. It's sundress season. It's spring. There's baddies everywhere I look, and I'm in the house watching the chart of Brent oil futures. It's like, yeah, I am going to over index. I am going to like get excited about every fucking price move. I am going to freak out about every 5-minute candle because this is what you've asked me to do. And so is this de-escalation or is this taco not working? Like it's taco not working, at least how I'm looking at it. It's taco not working. So look, I have a whole segment I want to do of, God, I don't get through anything. I don't get through anything. I have so much to do. I plan every stream with like 100 things. I don't get through a fucking single thing. I have this whole segment about diminishing returns of history of Trump tacos. Didn't get that done. I have a whole thing about the history of war invasions, every invasion America's ever done and how it's traded. Didn't get that done. I have this 6th segment about Russia, Ukraine. Didn't get that done. I have this manipulation segment. Didn't get that done. I have this video about Wall Street bets. Didn't get that done. I have this Malcolm thing. I don't even know what it is. Didn't get that done. Crypto didn't get that done. I have like a million things. I didn't get any of it done. None of it done. I was now to think I would get it all done in an hour is ridiculous. But here's what we are gonna do: is in 5 minutes I have Mark Jeffrey coming on the stream. Who actually I'll show you his Twitter. He just tweeted, by the way. If you're coming in from Mark on Twitter and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. I think it's MFRS. Is everyone here from Mark? He's like, do you have crazy motion? Are you here to talk about tacos? This is Mark. He works on this Stillcore cap with Jason Calacanis and Rob. They're a Tau fund. And any first-time chatters here, like, why are we low-key ripping right now? If you're a first-time chatter, say hi. And he's a really sharp guy. I listened to him on a pod the other day with I listened to my pod the other day. He's a really sharp guy. Big crypto bull, OG Bitcoiner. He's going to come talk like 30 minutes about Tau just because it's been the best performing token for a while. And can I aura farm on IG maybe? Like, how about this? Let's just be like, say hi, IG. Hey, say hi to my Instagram with the Global Financial Crisis hoodie. Say hi, say hi. Say hi. Global Financial Crisis. Wow, aura. Oh my God. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get off real quick. I'm going to get off for 30 seconds when I get back. Mark's coming on. 30 minutes. It's going to be a banger with Mark. And then once he gets off, we are going to talk about a lot. History of tacos, diminishing return. We have a lot to talk about. I'm not going to lie. I got to focus. I got to fucking figure it out. All right, BRB. All right. By the way, doesn't the stream look way better with no one or two? It looks way better without it, I think. It looks way better without it. Yeah. All right. Here's what we're going to do. That was a sick little intro. I actually got off a lot of the meta beginning takes I wanted to get off at the beginning about Trump, the tacos, diminishing taco returns. We are going to have to pause that for a moment while this looks like this, because there's other charts that are interesting right now, and this is one of them. This is Tau. Obviously, I've been talking about Tau. I actually just closed the Tau trade. I told you that. So we have Mark coming on. He runs a Tau fund with Jason Calacanis and Rob. Really sharp guys. Obviously, everybody knows Jason. And he's pretty like generational. I don't know. I heard him on a pod. I was really into it. Like I was really, he's a really sharp guy. And so he's going to come on. He can talk about crypto, Tau, all of it. And he's been for 30 minutes. And then after, we are going to talk about some Trump taco stuff. All right. Let's fucking get it. BRB. No, Jason's not on. Jason's not on. But maybe soon. All right, let's get it. 1 second here, Mr. Mark. Let me get you on the big screen. And boom! Mark Jeffrey, welcome to the stream, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for coming on, man. It's an absolute pleasure. We're kind of all over the place. There's a lot happening. We're talking Trump, geopolitics. We haven't been doing a lot of crypto, but man, over the last, 2-3 weeks, this Bitensor Tau has been all over my feed. And it's honestly been a little bit refreshing to tap back in, talk about some crypto, talk about some everything going on in that world. So happy to have you. Welcome. And do you want to start with like a quick intro into who you are? And we can talk about some fun market stuff.
Yeah, sure. So, I've been kicking around for about 30 years, doing tech company. Yeah, I'm a little older. So, so I founded my first company in 95, and I was an engineer to begin with. So I was around for sort of the dot-com boom and bust, and worked with Jason Calacanis in those days. So that's how I know him from that era, right? And then, founded a bunch of companies, ended up being CTO at a company that Jason founded. Elon was on the board, so I used to have to give a report to him like once a quarter.
Really?
So,
like directly to him?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was when he showed up
on
for
the
board
board.
meetings.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, Mark, okay, CTO guy, tell me what you're doing, and he'd pull it apart, of course, right? Because it's Elon, right? So I'd have to like dance and answer questions. So and then Sequoia was on the board too. So it was really a great time because we got some FaceTime with some just unbelievably amazing people. It was like Warhol's loft, right? Like all these characters came through, and you got to remember back then Elon wasn't like Elon. He was just like a PayPal guy, right? Like he was successful, but he wasn't like the Messiah, right? Like we didn't know all the things that were coming yet, right? So it wasn't quite it wasn't quite like addressing the throne the way it would be now, right?
Did you like, were you conscious of working with, like, interacting with Elon at the time that he was actually going to be the GOAT, or not really?
No. I mean, I was very conscious of the fact that he's a very smart guy. But so were the Sequoia guys, right? So were a lot of other people. So no, I did. And I also worked with, briefly with a guy named Travis Kalanick who founded Uber.
Whoa.
Right? So Travis, before Uber, had a company called Red Swoosh. And this was after the dot-com boom and bust. So I was looking around for a job, and there weren't many jobs. And Travis is like, "Hey, come work for me." So I went and worked at Red Swoosh for about a year and a half. Whoa. And it was just me, Travis, and like 2 other guys, maybe 3 other guys, in a room for like a year and a half, right? And did I know Travis? Like, was there? There's a great line in Amadeus where Salieri is looking for Mozart and he doesn't know what he looks like, and he's like, "I played a game with myself. Is genius like that, visible on the face?" And the answer is, for me, no, it wasn't. Like, because I was hanging out with Travis every day, and I didn't realize who I was hanging out with until later, right? So, we might
have to work on this.
I knew he was smart. But
we might have to work on this identifying talent thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you ended up, that's crazy lore. What a fucking story. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'll just finish it real quick.
Go.
So then I got into Bitcoin in 2013, which is, hence the Bitcoin books behind me. So I wrote a couple Bitcoin books. And then I was in the Ethereum ICO. So I interviewed Vitalik on a podcast right before it happened. So I got in on that. I was there for DeFi Summer. So I've been kicking around in crypto basically since 2013.
Okay, cool. And so you're super early Bitcoin, and you're running.
Oh, and then today, right?
Yeah.
I've been talking about today. So right now, I'm partner at Stillcore Capital, and we are a fund investing in Bitensor subnets.
Beautiful. Which is kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of a crazy move. Like we see a lot. I mean, there's obviously Bitcoin funds, there's ETH funds. We had the DAT mania a little bit, which kind of got far out in the risk curve. Berachain DAT, AVAX DAT, which kind of is what Hyperliquid DAT. But I'm not sure I've seen a Bitensor fund like this. And it's like a unique ecosystem because you have this like subnet eco, which we actually haven't talked that much about on the stream. Like, how did you get Tau pilled, and why are you working on this now?
Yeah, so it was about 2 years ago. I read a report by Masari by a guy named Sami Kaseb.
Oh hell yeah,
Who was
he's been on the stream.
yeah. Okay, so you know him, yeah. So he himself is also doing a Bitensor fund, right?
Uh-huh.
So it was his paper that kind of made me start suspecting that there was something very important going on here. And as I said, I was there early 2013 for Bitcoin, and then again for Ethereum. And the more I read about it, and the more I understood what was going on here, I started quickly, maybe over a couple months, gaining conviction that this was the third great coin, right? So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then this is the most important thing that's happened since Ethereum. And the more I gained conviction on that, and having seen, having bought my first Bitcoin on Mount Gox, for $250 back in the day, and seeing sort of how that spiraled up, and then again with Ethereum, I quickly, my opinion was, look, it's going to happen again. And it's going to happen with this Bitensor Tau thing. So how do I get as much Tau as possible? How do I become like the Winklevi and own 1% of Bitcoin, right?
The Winklevi.
Of this Tau thing. That was the thinking, right? So how do I do that? And I've got my own stack from my Bitcoin and Ethereum adventures. But how can I get more? And running a fund was the best way to do that. And I had a couple partners that were thinking about doing it approach me, and then I approached Jason about investing in the fund, Jason Calacanis. And Jason Calacanis came back and said, well, can I be a partner in the fund? So, we quickly said yes to that. So
why is it the most important crypto since ETH?
Well, I mean, I think if you look at, what Bitcoin did, what Ethereum did, right, is it looked at Bitcoin and it said, this is super interesting, but this little tiny smart contracts thing, let's blow that up. Let's make a Turing complete machine. Let's make the world computer, right, as Vitalik was calling it. But a great idea. And that led to the explosion at first of ICOs and then DeFi summer. So we got decentralized lending, we got decentralized exchanges, we got stable coins. There was this whole little rich Cambrian explosion that happened first anyway inside the Ethereum and EVM ecosystem. What Bitensor does is it takes the other side of Bitcoin, the mining side, and says, let's make that programmable, right? Let's allow the Bitensor chain to subsidize into being all these AI and other commodities, digital commodities, and let's make this whole other Cambrian explosion happen. And I fully, obviously, buy into the theory that that was going to happen, and it started to happen. And the reason why you've been hearing about Bitensor so much is because the successes are now starting to become obvious to the rest of the world for the first time. Templar Subnet 3 just announced that they completed a 72 billion parameter training run of a frontier model. It was fully decentralized, right? Like, so what does that mean? Well, you and I, right, if you want to make like a new ChatGPT or a new Grok, you have to have 200,000 GPUs, right? Like, which is what Elon has,
Disgusting.
right, in Colossus. So imagine, so you and I don't have that, but imagine like a Napsterized Colossus that is coordinated and incentivized by the emissions in a Bitensor subnet called Templar Subnet 3. And a lot of people said it couldn't be done. You could not do AI training in a decentralized fashion. Subnet 3 just proved they could do it. Huge amount of attention, 2 million views on the tweet. They talked about it on the All In Pod. Chamath brought it up, right? On the All In Pod talking to Jensen, and that clip went viral. So and then the CEO or one of the co-founders of Anthropic has talked about it twice now and put that training run, put Templar in a paper that he wrote, and called it out as like, hey, this is the world's largest decentralized training run. We didn't really think this was possible. Now that we know that it is, in the future, and the other thing to remember about this, what is Bitcoin? Well, it's a lot of things, but it's also Earth's largest supercomputer. It's 500 times larger than its nearest competitor. What do we need to train AI? Earth's largest supercomputer. So how did Bitcoin grow? Well, it incentivized itself into existence. It convinced all these people to donate CPU and electricity to try to mine these coins. So let's do that. It worked once. Let's do it again for AI and all these other projects that need intense amounts of GPU.
One of the tweets I saw that I liked was it was actually this guy Kel, who also used to work at Masari, and he tweeted in response and basically saying like the idea of the decentralized training run, at first it was thought that it couldn't be done, and then now that it's been done, the discourse has switched to it's too small. which is like a real step function forward. And so, on a different note, like one of my questions for you is, we trade crypto. I trade a lot of crypto, and not all crypto is garbage, but you trade a lot of you trade a lot of attention. You trade a lot of things on attention, not fundamentals, not PE ratios, not forward earnings. A lot of attention. And the thing that was interesting about Bitensor and why I've been talking about it is I think it's the first crypto in a while that has gotten this like mainstream tech Silicon Valley attention. Obviously, Jason Calacanis, but then you see like Chamath talking about the Templar run to Jensen, and you see what was it, Jack Joseph or Joseph Jack, one of these AI guys, who's
JJ.
like JJ, who's not a crypto. If anything, they're anti-crypto, and they're like, okay, cool, fuck it, Tau. Why are these tech adjacent anti-crypto crowd like talking about Bitensor? Like, what just happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think because they realized that Bitcoin's success could potentially be replicated for AI, for doing like open source AI, right? Like Bitensor is in a lot of ways, it is open AI. It's what OpenAI, the company, should have been but did not become, right? And part of the reason for that is that, with open projects, like open software projects like Linux maybe or something like that, the early contributors don't get anything, right? There's no ownership layer, right? Bitcoin was the first open source, project that had an ownership layer from day one, right? If you were just some kid in their bedroom mining coins in 2010, right? You got coins, which meant you had an ownership layer. You were invested in Bitcoin's success and its future. Like stock, it's not stock, but it's like stock in the sense that it's ownership, right? And by making mining programmable, and by making the Bitensor, Bitensor is basically like, let's do Bitcoin again. Yeah. So same economics, 21 million coins in the Tau token, right, the base layer. And then it's true also that there's 128 subnets, each one of them a different AI project, right, that has its own different mining contest. They're all totally different. But each one of those subnets also has a coin. Again, those are limited to 21 million. And just like Bitcoin, they are emitted into a liquidity pool. And the only way you can get them, and this is extremely important, the only way you can get subnet tokens is by staking Tau into the liquidity pool, which is in this like Uniswap thing that's baked into the chain. It's not it's not an app on top. It's like inside. And so what that means is that all the subnet tokens are rehypothecated Tau. It's another form of the same thing, right? Now the subnet token pools can grow and shrink depending on how well that subnet does, right, on the marketplace. Just like any marketplace. But the subnet token itself, like in Ethereum and Solana and everything else, they build smart contracts and tokens on top of the gas token, but there is no economic connection, right? Like these are tied at the hip. Like it's a very, very different dynamic. So if you look at Bitcoin and you say, holy shit, this, Bitcoin incentivized Earth to donate absolutely insane amounts of GPU, CPU, and electricity to mine with these incentive onomics, these contest onomics. It worked really well once. It should work again for this other thing, which requires a lot of GPU, otherwise known as AI. And I think people are cluing into that narrative. They're like, oh, yeah, we've never tried to do it again. It worked. Capitalism worked once. Let's try it again.
Fucking run it back. What are you investing in? Like, how are you figuring out? Because the subnet scene is there's just like a lot there, right? Like it took me a while to get Bitensor, and then I'm like, geez, there's a lot under the hood there. Like, what are you guys investing in? How are you like figuring out how much capital to allocate to what? Like, how does the fund actually work?
Yeah, so we are our goal is to raise enough to own 1% of all Tau. So again, just like the Winklevi, right? So that's the game plan. We're only 5 months old, so it's early days. But we've raised a decent amount so far. We haven't made any announcements yet. We will at some point, but it's not quite time yet. However, we have announced that we've invested in a couple of subnets. One of them being Ridges, subnet 62, which makes a Claudin cursor killer, right? Which is beating it on the SWE benchmark tests. So it costs $29 a month versus like 200 plus for a Claude or cursor, right? So it's like 1/10 the cost. We've also announced an investment in Targon Subnet 4, which is confidential compute and inference.
Okay.
And Intel just published a paper with them that just got
I
announced
saw
a couple
this.
days ago.
Yeah.
So
You
know
post.
about
I think
this
you post. I saw you post it. Yeah.
Yes, I did. And then we've also announced a investment in Hippias,
Okay.
which is Subnet 75, and they are decentralized storage, which would seem like it has nothing to do with AI, but AI, needs a lot of storage to crunch things, right? You have to put the data somewhere at scale, and Hippias offers storage for like 1/400th, literally 1/400th the price of any other competitor. So extraordinarily cheaper.
Yeah.
One of the things you asked about criteria, we obviously look for a great product. We look for some market maturity. Very much like how you would invest in startups.
Yeah.
We also look for like how is the subnet token going to grow in value? Stuff that's just like, is the subnet token just a meme coin for that subnet? That's not good enough.
Yeah.
With Hippias, you have to stake Hippias tokens in order to gain the right to mine the Hippias subnet. How do you mine the Hippias subnet? You supply storage to Hippias, right? And you get slashed if you suck, right? You have to be responsive, all that stuff, right? So, so it deterministically ties the value of the Hippias token to a rise in usage and revenue of Hippias, the product. So we like that, and the team was great. We love the people behind it. Other things that I like, Nova, which is AI pharma molecule discovery.
Okay.
So they hunt,
they were just on This Week in Startups, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were just on This Week in Startups yesterday. So yes. So we like them. We've also invested in Score, which is computer vision.
Okay.
So it's understanding. It's not enough just to slap a camera on an AI, right? You have to have the AI has to understand, how to see. Like what is that blob walking around? Oh, that's a human.
Yeah. What am I looking at?
Yeah, this is a car, right? Perspective, like it has to understand the sight, right? Just like a baby learns how to see. They can see, but they don't know how to see yet. They don't know how to map the input to the world, right? So so we really like Score. Score started out by using their visual mapping for sports balling money teams, right? Or sorry, sports balling sports teams. Money balling sports teams.
I followed the first one. It just took me a second. Yeah.
Yeah, I reversed it. So so they basically went to European soccer teams and who can't afford these big AI scouting systems, and because they can provide the same thing for a tenth or lower the cost. All of a sudden, amateur sporting teams could afford AI moneyballing and AI sort of visual scouting of great players. So, and those are just a handful of subnets of the 128, right?
Yeah.
So
okay,
yeah.
You're really deep on a lot of these.
Oh yeah. So I run a pod called Hash Rate.
Okay.
I've interviewed most of these people at least once on most of the subnets.
Nice.
So
I want to go. I'll go watch a couple ones that you're invested in. On the LLM side specifically, because that's interesting to the audience as well. Is why would it be possible that a subnet could theoretically beat Claude or beat Cursor or beat one of these major AI labs that is building out either LLMs or is building out some sort of organization system? Why would a subnet be able to compete with these billion, trillion dollar companies?
Yeah, so let me explain in Bitcoin terms first, right?
Cool, rip it.
So imagine Satoshi didn't do this decentralized thing. He just woke up one morning and he went to Sequoia and he raised a bunch of money, right?
Yeah.
And right, and he said, okay, we're going to make this alternate universe Swift system and this alternate universe digital gold. So we have to buy a lot of servers all over the earth to run this network. It would have been just imagine the insane amount of cash it would have taken, right? So. And on top of that, you'd have to we're going to hire in Silicon Valley. That's where our offices are. So if you're an engineer, you have to move there, right? And also if you're dead weight, you might be able to hide in my company for a long time because there's tons of engineers.
Yep.
Now instead of doing that, so in Bitensor world, the proposition is we're not going to hire anybody. We are just going to set up a goal, like what we want people mining for. And in this case with Ridges, it's I want you to make a software agent capable of beating Claude and Cursor. There are 256 mining slots, so there's 256 possible entrants into the contest, and they all submit their entries usually once a day, right? And at the end of that, and anyone from all over Earth can compete. There is no HR department. There's no salaries. And you don't have to geographically be anywhere. You can be in Turkey. You can be in India, right? So you get Earth's best minds that are all competing against each other, and they don't have to take a job, so they can just do this until they're bored and leave, right? And if they win, It depends on when you look, but it's somewhere between 25K and 75K worth of subnet tokens, which you can sell immediately, or you can hang on to because you think ridges might blow up and be worth as much as Claude or Cursor down the road, right? So because of this fierce competition, which is going on with Earth's best minds trying to one up each other every day, and at the end of each day, the winning result is published. So everybody benefits from the cleverness of the last winner, right? And then it begins again. So this contest, you cannot beat contestonomics that have financial and ownership incentives that are worldwide. That's what it turns out, right? And with only a handful of like $1 million or $2 million, Ridges surpassed what Claude and Cursor had done with hundreds of billions within a very short couple of month time frame, right? So this is it's the most efficient form of capitalism ever invented. It's the most ferocious form. Nobody gets paid unless they win. Only the winner gets paid. So there is no dead weight.
And can you explain? I'm just gonna jump on another topic. It's like on a follow up. Can you explain why and what was so significant about the decentralized training run?
Yeah, I mean so when you train a model, right? If you're training an AI model, the reason why you have to have 200,000 GPUs co-located is because of the intercommunication between the GPUs, because they're basically building a neural network, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cross communication that has to go on in order to build an accurate model while you're training it. So the concern with a decentralized model is, these neurons, if you will, are all over the Earth, right? So it's too slow. They have to be co-located in order for it to make sense. And I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I couldn't speak intelligently to the technique, other than to say that was the problem that they solved, is the intercommunication. So
that was
So they proved it works in a petri dish. Yeah. So they can. So it's like, well, it worked in the petri dish. It's just about scale up now. So I think they can do it. They think they can do it.
That was actually a good explanation. What is like the bear case for Tau? Like, at what scenario does this not work and your investment in the fund is just we missed, we were close?
There could be a new regulatory regime which arises, which seeks to kneecap AI or centralize it. Right, you're already seeing Bernie Sanders out there, saying we've got to stop building data centers.
By the way, he did the Claude interview and shit. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
It reminds me of there's these cartoons from the 1900s when electricity first came around, and a bunch of people are like, electricity, we're all going to get electrocuted and die.
It's the same shit.
It's the same thing, right? Every 100 years we go through one of these. So, but nonetheless, I mean, there are people who could come to power who basically say AI is illegal unless it's licensed by national regulator, and only OpenAI and only Google and only Grok, maybe not Grok because we don't like Elon, right? Maybe only licensed AI will be allowed. So that is that's actually a big threat.
Yeah,
probably to everybody.
Yeah.
Now, could they shut down Bitensor? Probably not. Could they shut us down? Yes. If this was in America, that would affect us, right? Because all of a sudden, maybe funding these things would be illegal. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's very likely at this point. But that's always a danger, right? And then there's the normal things like a chain hack, right? Like if there's some disaster on chain or something like that. But I think the regulatory one is really the biggest one. The biggest one that worries me is that. The other thing is, if we do something stupid in terms of developing out new capabilities that adversely affects the way Bitensor operates. So an example might be there's now talk about putting lending and shorting directly on chain. Just the same way there's the Uniswap that's baked into the heart of the chain. It's not like on top of it, it's inside of it. There's now talks as of last week underway. You just had Const on the show, so this is Const driving this, of having lending, which would enable shorting, baked into the chain for the purpose of allowing people to bet against subnets that they think suck. Right now, there's no way to do that, right? But perhaps it's best if people can, so that if somebody has enough tau to continually keep buying their own subnet, right now there's nothing you can do about it. But if there's lending and shorting, now little guys can offset that with bad sentiment, which might be the correct answer. It might be a crappy product, and so the chain should be able to sort of vote with its feet, if you will. And so this would enable this will enable littler players to compete against the bigger ones. However, you remember what happened with Thorchain, Thorlend? I don't know if you were around for that.
Yeah, kind of. I used to rune, right? Ticker rune.
Yeah, and I love
used to
Rune.
hold
I'm
that
actually
back in the day.
Yeah, I'm still a big Rune fan, right? But they, for a period of time, enabled lending on the chain, which actually became insolvent and threatened to bring the entire chain down through baking lending into the chain, right? So the things like that worry me a little bit. So far, Const has not steered us wrong at all, and I've been worried about things that were not worth worrying about. Once Const's solution to these problems tends to be very good, and he has never let me down once. And I've gone through like 6 worry fests where I'm like, oh my god, Const is making a mistake, he's totally wrong. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, no, he was totally right. Look what happened.
Is he in charge? Like he's the primary?
Well, so he used to be. He used to be the CEO of the foundation. He has stepped away from that now. So I'm actually probably wrong. I Const described this,
but he has influence and could push.
He has influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foundation is really the one driving all this now. So yeah.
Got it. Who runs the foundation, or is it like a?
I mean it's a bunch of early Tau people.
Got it.
So it's and so I actually don't recall exactly who's in charge of that. It's a lot of brainiacs. They sit up in the tower where these these decisions are made, and I'm down in the subnet. So I talk to them every once in a while, but not really that much.
Near the end here, can you share? You have a price target for Tau that you could say?
I'll tell you what so not financial advice, but I will tell you what I think, because I have said it before. So like I said, I was around in the early Bitcoin days, and I watched Bitcoin go from like $200 to 1,200. Then I got scared, went back to 600, and then all the way back down to 250. Right, and it sort of did this bobble thing, and then at some point it jumped up to 3,000, and then 10,000, and all of that happened within the first year after the first halving of Bitcoin. Right, so like 2013 or 14, something like that. Bitensor just left its first halving. Right, so
okay, so you're looking at it on like halving scale.
So so I'm looking at it for a couple dimensions, but halving is absolutely one of them, right? Because it so it's 2013, if you will, in Bitensor world, and what is its price? Well, it's around $300, right? And it's sort of bobbling around $300 at the moment, right? So it's exactly like Bitcoin, but on top of that, you have the subnets, and the subnets, to make a subnet, that requires Tau. How much Tau? Well, between $100K and $1 million worth of Tau, depending on when you look and how much demand there is. There's also going to be more subnets at some point, probably in the next year. So the number between 128 is going to go to 256. That alone is going to create a giant amount of demand for Tau. James Altucher did an analysis of that, and he's like, "Oh my God, that alone could drive it up to several $1,000s. Never mind everything else." Then you have staking of Tau into subnets to get subnet tokens. 20% of all Tau that's in circulation is currently staked within subnets. And then another 40% or so is staked, 50% is staked en route, which is kind of like the lazy way to stake and get some rewards. So roughly 70% of it is staked. And so it's not moving around, right? So you got all these things which cost Tau and which cause you to stake Tau. So that Bitcoin doesn't have that. So in addition to the Bitcoin-like dynamics, you have Ethereum-like dynamics, right? And I think all these things are going to start compounding at some point. And I think it's pretty conservative to think that if it does only what Bitcoin does, we'll see something like a $3,000 Tau by the end of this year.
Whoa.
Right. And I think that's a conservative bet. Now, it's only my opinion, but still core. And, we are positioning ourselves accordingly based on thinking that. And if you listen to Barry Silbert speak, right, who became a Bitcoin billionaire, right, he recently said at a Bitcoin conference that he thinks Bitensor Tau could 500x. It has that kind of a potential. Not this year, but
Yeah,
just
of
in
course.
general, right?
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's a
So that's
sick-
what I think.
I'll tell you this. I respect someone that comes on and gives a fucking price target. That was a sick price target. That was sick. And dude, I appreciate you coming on. We should get Jake Hell on at some point. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he might do it. He's getting more excited about Tau, as you've noticed, right? So
Yeah, maybe we'll set it up and we'll rip it. I appreciate you coming on. Is there like I don't know, like as a sign off, like where do you send people if they want to learn more about it, if they want to follow what you're doing, watch your interviews you've done with founders on the subnets? Like, yeah, where do you send people? Where do you tell them to go? Like, where can people learn more about everything you're doing?
Yeah, on X, I'm at Mark Jeffrey, Jeffrey, and Hash Rate is the name of the pod where I interview all the subnets. I most of my views are on X, but I also have a YouTube channel that replicates them. So just search for Mark Jeffrey, you'll find me. The company is called Stillcore Capital, so stillcorecapital.com for accredited investors only. But if you're curious about what we're doing, go there.
Sick. Mark Jeffrey, dude, it's an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you you coming on. It was a blast. It was fun to do cons, then rip you. It was awesome, man. Thanks for the time, bro. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thanks, dude.
All right, have a good one, brother. Peace. All right, chat, what do y'all think? I actually like that guy. I'm not gonna lie. I like that guy. I like that guy. If I wasn't so like, all I can think about right now is Trump tacos. I actually like that guy. I'm not gonna lie. He's a sharp guy. He's a fucking smart guy. Also, no one ever wants to give a fucking price target. Everyone comes on here and is like, doesn't want to give a price target. We had to get him on, right? You have to do the like the founder, then the fun guy, and then we're probably good on Tau for the moment, unless this thing fucking rips to like $7 jillion. Jason would be sick, by the way. You know, I snuck that in there. I like that guy. Honestly, I do. I honestly do. Did you sell off BTC? Ugh, no, I can't. But I'm gonna. No. Why did I sell? I sold because. Is Clav gonna get canceled for this crocodile shit? What do you do? I sold because Trump saying to fucking market's gonna drop. What did he do? Clavicular crocodile. Oh. That was kind of dark. I mean, it's not that. Yeah, it was already dead. That's like a little bit dark. All right, here's what we do. Let me get up real quick, and then I'm gonna come back in, and we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. BRB. Get into it. Fuck, dude, my back hurts. This fucking chair was like so expensive. It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Dog shit ass chair. Fuck, man. Fuck. How did you start making your first real money? You're assuming I fucking made real money. First time I made $1 was selling friendship bracelets. All right, how do we even like get back into the flow? Where should we go? I don't even know how to get back in the flow. What's with the curses? How do I even get back into flow? Let's see. This is a Herman Miller chair, bro. It is a fucking Herman Miller chair. This thing was like $2,000 and it sucks. It sucks. It's the worst chair ever. I hate it. I used to sit in a fucking $5 chair. I used to sit in a $10 chair. And it was awesome. All right, where are we at? Where are we at? All right. Just a full taco retrace. It's crazy. It really is crazy. It's a little bit scary. I've never lived through actual war. I know we're in actual war, but ground invasion war, it's a little bit. This is scary to me. I don't know what to say. The market just said, I don't give a fuck. What did Rasmus say? He said it's not taco, it's planning. What did he say? He's like, it's part of the. Did he say it's not taco, it's 40 chess? Is that what he said? It's an ultimatum. Yeah, but you want to know what I think about an ultimatum? You want to know what I think about the ultimatum? This is what I think about the ultimatum. This is exactly what I think about the ultimatum. This is what I think about the ultimatum. This dude unfollowed me today? Really? Bruh. Today? I pulled this shit up 2 hours ago. And he deleted the tweet. What the I needed the tweet. Here it is. What the fuck? The unfollow is insane. This is the ultimatum though. What the? That's he just DM. What the fuck, bro? What's today's date? March 26. One day reply wasn't that bad, bro. Anyways, point stands of this is the tweet. Trump, you have 2 days to open the strait. Iran, no. Trump, okay, you have 5 days. Iran, no. Trump, fine, you have 10 days. That's what an ultimatum is, bro. That's exactly that is what has just happened. 1-to-1. That's what just happened, in my opinion. This is not. It doesn't really feel like it's coming from a place of dominance power. It's like a total what else do we do type of move. It feels like a taco because of this. You have 2 days, no. You have 5, no. You have 10. And so first it was 48 hours. Then it was you have until Saturday. And now it's okay, no, you have 10 days. And every step of the way, it's straights close, straights close, straights close, straights close, straights close. And so that's why I tend to take his commentary on why isn't the market lower and why isn't oil higher, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because he keeps just extending. And so I don't know. It's a weird back and forth between he feels oddly dovish in the interview, and then at the same time he's just pushing timeline back. So I don't fucking know. I wanted to look at this though, which is a history of. I found this article, which is because here's the thing. It's all right. I've sort of just accepted, dude. I think he's gonna fucking launch a ground invasion. I just feel like it's gonna happen. If I'm wrong, then God bless. That's awesome. If I'm right, then I would like to know what to trade. But regardless, it feels like he's setting up It feels like the market is trading as if it's going to happen. That's what I think. I feel like the market is trading as if it's going to happen. And so if you get the notification from Zero Hedge or whatever that says like US is invading, then I don't know what happens. Oil probably candles, but then like I would want to buy gold. Gold isn't going to work. Bitcoin isn't going to work. Tau isn't going to work. No crypto is going to work. Maybe the dollar, I guess. Metals are not going to work. I don't want to short sell stocks because that's no fun, really. And I don't really know. Like I don't really know what it is. I guess it's oil. You finally make the oil trade, but it's just like it feels like such a difficult one to really. By the way, you said dirty drone stocks. This is what we were talking about in the beginning morning call. Is drone stocks. You're probably right, but it's really dark. The thesis is, first of all, we talked about this yesterday. The West is not ready to see drone warfare on RTL because you're going to see it. You haven't seen anything from the GCC. It's banned. It's like fully illegal. But like if American soldiers at war, you're going to see TikToks. And so we've seen no content from this war in the Middle East. We basically have seen nothing. We've seen a few like ship tankers blow up. We've seen a few things here and there. But like we haven't. You've seen a few like drones fly into buildings. We've seen some missiles. But like there hasn't been that much content posted from this for as much as we've been talking about it, right? It's like if you post a video of a missile coming into Dubai, you're going to jail in any of the GCC countries. And so, yes, there is footage in Ukraine and Russia, but you miss it. Like if you're an American only trading markets, I don't know. It's not like in your face, but there's something about it, like it being Americans. If you're American and you haven't really seen it, that it's going to be like, if it does happen, there's going to be like some dark days on Twitter. I think it's going to be I don't know. How do you process that? Like, it's a really difficult thing to process. Also, at the same time, I don't know. It's just going to be really weird. It's going to be brutal. And there was like discourse I was reading and I was having this conversation that like, drone stocks probably rip if this happens. Like the first video that comes out, they're going to see candles on these drone stocks. That's probably right. But even for me, that one feels tough. I'll trade oil, but that one feels tough. I'm sorry. It just does. I know the market, but I wouldn't blame you for buying them. I'm not going to lie. But that one feels like tough to sit with. I don't know. Maybe that's just like me being a bitch, but that one feels tough. Also, to be fair, the White House is posting videos of like attacks, but it's like they're like posting like Call of Duty montages. You know, they're not really. It's less like super graphic. They're posting Call of Duty montages. IMO. So here's this article. Now, market reactions to military conflicts and what they mean today. With the Middle East grappled in acute crises, it's worth explaining how prior military conflicts and significant geopolitical events impacted the U.S. stock market and what suggests for investors today. Let's see. In 20 major post-World War II military interventions and hostiles that we evaluated, the S&P fell 6% on average from the initial market impact to the trough level. In 19 of the 20 events, the market took an average of 28 days to return to where it had been prior to those events. Used to work at RBCMM. What is that? RBCMM. Royal Bank of Canada. Whoa, what'd you do there? RBC Capital Markets. What is this? Global Markets. It's a global investment bank providing services in banking, finance, and capital markets, corporations, institutions. Okay, what do you think we should trade? So it took an average, basically dumped an average of 6%. We're already down 6%. Let me get my tabs right. Let's buy Solana, guys. First chatter. Welcome. So we're down like 6% right now. I think about even 6%. Yeah. We're down 7.6 right now, which is interesting. Oh, I'm reading a post from them. Jesus, thank you, dude. Fuck. It's been a long day. I was like, what do you... I'm like, it's sick, but like, what's good? Welcome, brother. Welcome. That's funny. My fault, man. The markets are going to have 28 days to return to where it had been prior to those events. This happened despite some interventions lasting longer, sometimes much longer, as in years or decades. In other words, the duration of a particular conflict historically has not had much bearing on market performance. And some could say war is bullish. We had this chart, DNAP, maybe link your tweet. We're like 30, 60, 90 days out of war, market's always higher. As oil goes to the stock market, so it has like a thing. Here you go. So this is S&P responses to select military interventions and hostiles since World War II. North Korea invades South Korea, 1950. Jeez. Let me pull this tweet up from DNAP. 1950. Fuck. My bit is worth like a mil. My fit is worth like a mil. Yeah, this is. We'll look at this in a second. 1950. Percentage to the bottom was 12.9%. Took 56 days to get back. U.S. spy plane. This is like, oh, I don't even know about this lore. U.S. spy plane shot down in USSR, May 7, 1960. Took 2 days to get to the bottom. 0.6% dump. That's like a regular day. 4 days to get back to even. Bay of Pigs invasion. I don't really know about this either. I mean, this is Cuba, right? Cuba, yeah. I don't really know about this. Damn, Austin. I wish I could have like gone back to history class, by the way. I would have paid attention. I really would have. I really would have paid attention. If you forced me to go back, I would have paid attention. I would. I learned it all now in stream, which is awesome, but like maybe it wouldn't have hurt to have like a little bit more context. What was I doing in class? I was flirting, bro. I was flirting and thinking I'm gonna play Division 3 basketball. Training pencil grips. Bay of Pigs, 6 days to get to the bottom, -3%. Took 14 days to get back to even. Cuban Missile Crisis, 6 days to get to the bottom, -6%, 13 days to get back to even. Gulf of Tonkin incident. I don't really know about this. Only 2%, 29 days. Lead up to 6-day war, -5.6. It's a decent dump. 20 days to get back. Tet offensive Vietnam, 25 days to get to the bottom, took -6%, 46 to get back. Cambodian campaign, this is crazy. 18 days to get to the bottom, -15% on S&P. That's a pretty good hit. Took 86 days to get back. The worst, Yom Kippur War. Arab oil embargo, October 6, 1973. Took 42 days to get to the bottom, -16.1%. That's hefty. 6 years to get back. Is that true? 1973. October 6, 1973. Is that true? That is crazy. This is the one that is most compared to our situation, by the way. Really? I feel like I haven't really seen that a lot. God, I have slop all over these charts. Let's see. Why is this the most compared? Almost there. It's October 73. Cool. Whoa. God damn. So everything already looked weak. Rounded top. And like October what? October 6. Am I in the daily? Yeah, I am. Nice. Third guy. Here it is. Actually went up first, huh? Why did it go up first? This can't. Basically like right here. And then what? Oh, God. Yeah, it did take fucking 6 years to come back. Jeez. It's crazy it went up first. Look at this. It went up first. That's crazy. This is October 6th right here. This is October 6th. 1973. Yeah, it went up like a little bit and then just like off a cliff. Last shakeout. I mean, this says 46% down. This is 16. Six years to get back to ATH. Soviet-Afghan War. 2.3. Iraq invades Kuwait. August 2nd, 1990. 15%, 16%, like 131 days. But the average here is like not that bad. Minus 6%, 28 days to come back. We're already down 7% from ATH on SPX. 28 days to come back. We've been at this war, though, for more than 28 days. It's almost a month. I guess about 28 days. You look at the stock market while still on gold standard, different environments. Makes sense. Yeah, this is wild, though. Where's Russia-Ukraine here? Russia intervention in Ukraine. February 11th, 2022. 7.8%, 27 days. It doesn't feel that bad. 7.8% does not feel that significant at all. I have a video from this. I feel like I wasn't really like, this might be we don't forget we love printing money. Yeah, we do. This might be a naive take, but I feel like I wasn't really paying that close of attention when Russia-Ukraine happened. All I held was altcoins. I knew nothing about geopolitics, and I just like was not paying attention at all to what was happening in stocks.
Focus our attention now on Wall Street because moments ago the markets opened and they are reacting badly to the news overnight that Russia launched an attack on Ukraine. Look at the Dow, down 800 points. And the price of oil, a key Russian export, of course, jumping above $105 a barrel for the first time since 2014. It's a kind of economic piling on coming as the global economy faces sustained pressure from supply chain issues, U.S. consumers facing some of the highest inflation we've seen in years. I want to bring in my friend Stephanie Ruhle, NBC senior business analyst and the host of the 11th Hour with Stephanie.
I just want to see like how bad.
I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with this hour.
You've been here
yes,
before?
my alarm clock still works.
Yeah, well, your alarm clock never goes off because you never go to sleep. But how bad is this? There are a lot of people waking up, they're looking at their 401ks, and frankly, they're sick to their stomachs.
Looking at their 401ks, Jesus, are we just out of touch?
And they should be, right? Today is not a good day. Does that mean it's going to be terrible in the long run? Not necessarily. People should remember, when we have had world events since World War II, in the short term, very bad for markets, but over the long term, things usually play out. But what are they doing now? They're down in a big way. They were down in Asia, Europe, and now here in the U.S. It's not a surprise. So when you're looking at your 401k, it's worrisome, but also at the gas pump. The president talked about it 2 nights ago, Jen Psaki last night, that this administration is sensitive to what we're paying at the pump, but it's going to get worse. We know that crude oil is now up around $100 a barrel. We have not seen that since 2014. The average price of gas per gallon is $3.50 in this country. It could go to $4. You've got that. These supply chain issues are a real problem. It's not like Russia is a huge importer, but things like wheat and corn, we get an awful lot from Russia and Ukraine. That means things are going to cost more at the grocery store. And when you've got any sort of disruption, and obviously this is a disruption, it hurts the global supply chain, which has been a driver of inflation, worsening a situation that we're already in.
We've only got 30 seconds, but I have to ask you, because you have so many contacts inside with
30
the big
seconds.
players on Wall Street, what are they going to be watching for in the coming days that will influence how they play this?
Where this goes from here, remember, what do the markets like? The markets love predictability. Good news or bad news, they just want to know what the weather is going to be. And take a look at Vladimir Putin. Do you have any idea what he's going to do? The answer is no. He's certainly not acting rationally, and investors don't like that.
What does that sound like? Who does that sound like? It's not acting rationally. Vladimir Putin. Who does that sound like? What? Like Russia-Ukraine is still going on. The market just doesn't. How much? How much of Russia, Ukraine is still going on? Like, let me ask Claude before I say some dumbass shit out loud. Very much ongoing. Here's a snapshot of today. 158 combat engagements recorded in the last 24 hours. Russia dropped 231 guided aerial bombs and launched over 9,400 kamikaze drones yesterday alone. What? What? Oh, yeah, what? What is a kamikaze drone? Russian kamikaze drone. Chunky, thanks for the gifted.
Of night raids, waves of Garan 2 kamikaze drones for more than 2 years, hundreds of night raids, swarms of low-flying engines buzzing across fields and something that until show is such a dangerous. We're going to break down exactly how Russia made it happen, why the R-60 is such a dangerous addition, and how this unexpected invention could reshape air combat over Ukraine. Full configuration of the December 2 clip didn't just show a drone being intercepted, it showed the full configuration of the weapon. For months, analysts believed the R-60 missile was hung beneath the Garan's body. But the video revealed the opposite. The missile was actually mounted on top of the drone.
Iran is the main supplier of kamikaze drones. Wait, can I show this on stream? I don't really want to show this. Dude, they launched 9,400 of these today. I think I can show this. Wait, watch this. They launched 9,400 of these today. That can't be true. No way, right? They launched over 9,400 kamikaze drones yesterday alone. Russia controls about 20% of Ukraine total. They've gained 29,000 square miles. My God. 1 million Russian casualties, 300K Ukrainian. Russia gained less than 1% of Ukrainian territory in all of 2025, losing over 416,000 troops. What the fuck? Wait. I am calling complete BS on 9,400 kamikaze drones in one day. There's no way that's true, right? Am I just like lying to 300 people? Fair challenge. That number is from Ukraine's own general staff press release. Wow, 9,414. Russia's typical is like 150 to 200. Okay, that was way off. It's like Israeli media 12. The actual single-day record is 948 on March 24th. Damn, they're setting records right now. That's crazy. They set a record on March 24th for how many drone strikes they've launched into Ukraine. That is fucking nuts. And the market just doesn't give a fuck. And so this is one of the things I wonder with the Iran situation is like, how long does the market dump, and then when does it just stop? Russia oil capacity. I was reading about this too. It's done 40% of it's offline, right? Look at this. At least 40% of Russia's oil export capacity halted. Moscow. At least 40% of Russia's oil export capacity is, what does that mean? Export capacity. Halt following Ukrainian drone attacks. A disputed attack on a major pipeline and seizure of. Let me see this one too. The link's dead, brother. Oh wait, I fucked it up. Ukrainian drone attacks reportedly managed to hit Russia's major ballistic oil export terminal at the port of Usluga again tonight. Can you cover Australia as a true 500? Is it true 500 gas stations are closed because they're out of gas? Is that true? Australia gas stations closed. Dude, how is it not higher? How is oil not higher? How is oil not higher? Australia Fuel Crunch expands hundreds of gas stations. Dude. Wait, here's watch the video.
Prices have once again spiked at service stations across the country as fuel fury intensifies. Other areas have simply run dry of supply, leaving some motorists stranded.
Putting the stop in truck stop.
So this is a service station that's run completely out of diesel.
A truck driver stopped in his tracks, caught out by Bowsers that ran dry, truckies waiting more than a day to fill up.
The past few weeks have been some of the worst in modern trucking Australian history.
And history repeated itself across the country.
Yes,
As
on the
another
map.
day dawned, so did another price pump up.
I'm a uni student, so I don't really have the money at all.
Many service stations increasing prices by at least 10 cents a litre, motorists seeing red.
I feel like they're just using any excuse they can to raise the price on fuel.
Despite the federal government claiming there's no supply issue, hundreds of retailers are empty. In New South Wales alone, 178 stations have no diesel, 48 with no stock at all. 55 in Queensland have no diesel, 33 with no unleaded. While in Victoria, diesel's gone across 45 locations, unleaded nowhere to be seen across 72 servos. South Australia, no diesel at 9. WA.
What does this is gonna be a really dumb question. What does diesel do? It's just like for truck, like. Is it just for engines? Like it's for truck engines only? Is there anything else? Diesels, trucks, and jets. Got it. Okay, here. At least 40% of Russia's oil export capacity is at a halt following Ukrainian drone attacks. That's crazy. The shutdown is more severe oil supply disruption from the modern history of Russia, which is the world's second largest oil exporter. And just hit Moscow's oil prices exceeded $100 a barrel due to the Iran war. Jeez, man. Royal's oil output is one of the main sources of revenue for the national budget and is central to the $2.6 trillion economy. Ukraine's intensified it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, this is why you can never go too bearish, is that it plays out and then people just like get over it or stop. They don't get over it, but they stop like reacting, whipsawing both directions. And then that's it. The war is like over. It's not over, but the market impact on the war like dripples out very far. Hey, it's a complete 180, but this might be more fun than talking about the world ending. Is everything industrial basically run diesel? This YouTube account I love called Casually Explained just dropped a video on Wall Street Bets. We have to watch it. Let's watch it. I think it's gonna be fun. Let's do like a little like switcheroo.
I have $100. Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
On November 29th, 2011, Drake released the motto, which popularized the word YOLO, the once trademark catchphrase of the now well-known...
Wait, hold on. That popularized YOLO? Really?
I have $100. Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
On November 29th, 2011, Drake released the motto, which popularized the word YOLO, the once trademark catchphrase of the now well-known subreddit Wall Street Bets. Little did Drake know he wasn't just popularizing a cringy millennialism and double wristing, truly two sides of the same coin. He was setting humanity down a slippery slope of degeneracy that would replace our idea of a retirement plan with an 11-leg Washington Wizards parlay, which to be fair in this day and age are both equally unlikely ever to materialize. Prior to COVID, Wall Street Bets was actually a pretty small community of mostly white-collar, early middle-aged professionals, usually in finance or software, who would write up what was called a due diligence or DD report on a niche stock or commodity they thought was going to experience a massive price move in the next week or two due to an impending and exciting catalyst. Then they'd post the positions they'd taken to capitalize on the idea before following up later with their losses. For non-market people, you need to understand that when people talk about stocks, they're talking about how you can take your hypothetical savings, buy a piece of someone else's business, and then get the rewards from their work by clicking one button on the internet and then not doing anything. When I told people who don't know this, it's a pretty common reaction to think it sounds too good to be true and must be a scam, which is partially true, but it's also the bedrock of the entire global economy, so you better get with the times. If this is even remotely revelatory for anyone, you better forget it, because Wall Street and Wall Street Bets is not about figuring out how to maximize returns on your capital by investing in actually good businesses like Costco or Toyota. It's realizing that there are
This brother doesn't trade crypto. There's no way.
heavily traded financial derivatives for orange juice futures, and this is going to be a screwdriver summer, my girlies. During this era of the mid to late 2010s, Wall Street Bets, along with the rest of Reddit, gradually started to skew to a younger and larger audience as it became more of a social media app, resulting in a lot more college students who hadn't quite cut their teeth in the derivative markets to join the scene. This culminated in the finale of the OG era of Wall Street Bets in 2019, when user Control the Narrative used a Robinhood exploit to get $48K in margin on a $2,000 account, or as he described, leveraged for my personal risk tolerance. Then he bought $50,000 worth of Apple puts, held through earnings.
This guy kills himself, right? This is like a famous story, I think. Hold on.
Robinhood exploit to get $48K in margin on a $2,000 account, or as he described, leveraged for my personal risk tolerance. Then he bought $50,000 worth of Apple puts, held through earnings, then live streamed himself reacting to losing it all, uttering the now infamous After asking Wall Street Bets if he's going to go to jail and what he should do, a user assuaged his concerns by saying, just delete the app. This, however, would quickly be forgotten as literally at the same time China was welding people into their apartment buildings for catching what was seemingly just a bad case of pangolin fever, which caused many people to say, oh, classic China, as they arrogantly enjoyed their Western freedoms and abundance of toilet paper. The second era...
There was a lot of classic China.
of Wall Street Bets coincided as literally at the same time China freedoms and abundance of toilet paper. The second era of Wall Street Bets coincided with its massive surge in popularity during COVID, because everyone was forced inside indefinitely with thousands in stimulus checks and unemployment.
Bro, they told him to just delete the app, and he just deleted the app. That was like a thing. I remember it was like a popular joke back. Just delete the app. You're down like 50K on a... You owe the app 50K on margin that you accidentally borrowed, and you're down 50 on a KYC docs government with your address, and you just like delete the app.
Employment payments that they desperately needed to avoid using to pay down their student debt, as that was congressionally...
Never kill yourself, bro. You can always make it back. Never kill yourself, bro.
Deferred, and would obviously never be coming back. The COVID era was one of the best Wall Street Bets ever had, because most people getting involved with markets for the first time were just panicked that the entire global economy was going to collapse and we'd all die. Meaning it wasn't so much about making money or coming up with a dumb circle jerk DD, it was about Wall Street Bets becoming a front page subreddit where the best and brightest 20-year-olds could try to educate the masses. Then I could not understand anything they said and just make fun of them with a meme and get 10 times as many upvotes.
This era is
really made
crypto
you
Twitter
feel
now,
that
by the
if
way.
we're all going to die,
This has become
at least we
crypto
died
Twitter
together. And it wasn't like you were losing money, it felt
Crypto
like we
Twitter...
were losing money. Whichever...
By the way, hot take, crypto Twitter is way better than Wall Street Bets ever was.
was because actual Wall Street was siphoning as many extra stimulus checks as possible from the peasants to the wealthy, which at least brought back a sense of normalcy to the middle class.
Except for
to
Roy
me,
Kitty.
the absolute peak of this era, other than the memes, was that because everyone in the community was so green, all the trends were just a random internet guy making up a nonsensical but easy to follow narrative, and then everyone would just pile into a trade. This included such classics as, "We'll buy liquor stocks because everyone's at home drinking," which was only derailed because the author did not take into account that one of the biggest customers of the alcohol industry was restaurants and bars, which were in fact closed. There was also, "We'll buy Activision because Call of Duty Warzone would massively beat revenue estimates because everyone's at home playing it," which was only derailed because Candy Crush, Activision's actual highest grossing game, was only played by Chinese moms at airports and missed on revenue completely. Another iconic moment was the SPAC bubble, which is shell companies that are publicly listed that would acquire private companies in order to backdoor them into public markets for a huge fee without going through a lengthy and legally rigorous IPO. This brought us such stocks as Lordstown Motors, Hyliion, and
It's like
ChargePoint,
crypto.
which are all now down
like
99%
Believe
from their
app.
peak. Then there's my personal pet peeve scam stock, Nikola Motors, a company that commissioned a few 3D renders of a hydrogen truck from Fiverr, then filmed themselves rolling another truck down a hill to make it look like it worked. Market cap? $30 billion. A company with a single 3D render was worth more than Ford Motors. I personally hated this company with an Air Canada level of passion because of the brazen intention of the CEO to just make shit up all the time, which is exemplified by the time he pointed at the tablet in the driver's seat and said, "This media console uses a custom operating system we designed that runs on an HTML supercomputer." If you don't know why that's so tilting, that's like me saying, "Yeah, we recreated DoorDash, but instead of delivering the food to your house, we just cook it for you directly in the app." My single favorite event in the COVID era was one of the many guys who in April of 2020 bought a bunch of futures contracts for West Texas Intermediate crude oil when everyone ran out of space to store it and prices hit negative $32 a barrel.
Which we know about.
Hours
Vega
later,
Capital,
he sold every
Cuddles.
contract except one as the price rose to -4 for a nice profit. He went on Wall Street Bets to brag that just his one remaining contract was worth over $26,000 and that trading for the contract expired, so he'd locked it in at that price. Another user then pointed out that an expired WTI futures contract isn't cash settled and that he didn't lock in a $26,000 profit. He locked in $26,000 worth of crude oil that would be physically delivered to him in Cushing, Oklahoma. At the time, this was the funniest misunderstanding I'd ever read and is up there with the guy who lost it all on ornamental gourds. Do yourself a favor and pause to read this one.
I've lost everything. I'm not sure how to continue. This summer I invested $17,500, 6 months salary and my entire life savings into ornamental gourd futures. What the fuck is that? What is an ornamental gourd future? Hoping to capitalize on this lucrative emerging industry. After watching a video about Vincent Kuska and his monopoly on onions, I decided it's a small pumpkin. I decided I'd try something similar with another vegetable. I did some research and found that many agriculture forecasters expected this year's gourd yield would be far smaller than the past due to deteriorating soil conditions in central Mexico and a warmer than average spring. At first, demand soared around Halloween and prices skyrocketed. But the gourd bubble burst on November 12th. Unfortunately, the coronavirus caused a massive drop-off in demand due to fewer families decorating their tables for Thanksgiving and prices plummeted. I had invested early enough that I thought I'd still be fine, but then on the morning of December 2nd, a new email inbox in my inbox caused my stomach to turn to a pretzel. The massive gourd shipment from Argentina scheduled for early March had arrived. I was planning on selling off my futures right before this in February, but this ruined everything. To top it off, the gourds in this shipment were absolutely gargantuan. Some topping 4 pounds each, causing the price per pound to drop like an anchor into the range of 6 cents per pound. I am ruined. Ornamental gourd. That's good. That's really good.
I remember seeing this for the first time, actually laughing my ass off and thinking, this is literally the funniest satire I have ever read. And then I looked at the
egg
guy's
one was way
post
funnier.
history and was like, there's no fucking way. There's actually no fucking way. Frankly, homie must be doing fine now because he might be the only person I'm certain cannot be replaced by AI. In 2021, as COVID was nearing an end, we began the final chapter of Wall Street Bets that led us into the modern day, which was the GameStop short squeeze. As of right now, the most upvoted post in the entire history of Reddit is about GameStop, which gives you a sense of scale of this whole operation. In brief, user Roaring Kitty posted a good old-fashioned DD on how GameStop might appear to be
we
a
should
failing
watch his
brick-and-mortar
streams.
retailer retailer being
should watch
usurped
some
by
of his
online
streams.
digital video game sales, that because this was such a consensus Wall Street view, the amount of people who were borrowing stock to sell it short was immense, and his idea was it was a classic setup for a short squeeze, which means if the price were to go up a lot in a short period of time, all the people shorting would be forced to buy more stock to close their losing position, resulting in a Volkswagen-style infinite money glitch for buyers. Actual finance people were quick to point out the drastic differences between these circumstances and how the DD didn't really make that much sense, but this is Reddit, and Michael Burry was in on the short squeeze thesis, so as everyone's hero George Soros said, "Show me a bubble and I'm buying." What a little cutie. I don't want to get too deep on the lore because to this day almost every white-collar guy I've met in real life over 30 has a defense mechanism for the money they lost on this trade. But in short, what was originally a novel
Remember we read the Michael Burry thesis on how he got involved in the short squeeze? That was awesome.
trade idea with a moderate return potential turned into a global meme where every 20 to 55-year-old male on planet Earth bought GameStop stock or options, and the price went absolutely vertical. Roaring Kitty started by posting his positions worth $50,000 and peaking at $48 million. If you're wondering why literally everything is a loot box nowadays, it's because ever since the boys have been chasing this moment. The final conclusion was when GameStop squeezed to over a $30 billion market cap, and every broker's website was fighting for its life to handle all the traffic because they weren't using a supercomputer running on HTML. After reaching nearly $500 split adjusted, the stock then suddenly collapsed limit down after limit down to nearly $100 because Robinhood literally turned off the buy button for all their users. This started a grand conspiracy that still persists to this day, that the powers that be on Wall Street were getting caught with their pants down by retail vigilantes, but used their connections to the deep state to illegally make Robinhood manipulate the market to their own interests.
That is what happens.
If you ask someone what evidence they have for this, it usually boils down to, well, it really felt like it. And while I feel bad for people when they lose their money to an unforeseen
That did happen, by the way.
risk, especially me, you have to check yourself to make sure you don't fall victim to the market phenomenon called trader on the way up, community member on the way down. After this peak moment of the little guy finally having a brief experience of actually occupying Wall Street and seeing it slip through their fingers, Wall Street Bets has settled in as a comfortable and pretty big finance news and meme subreddit that I enjoy now but think, well, these kids don't know what it was really all about. And it feels to me like looking at photos of myself when I was 20 and remembering the good old days. Then someone says, Jamie, that was 10 years ago and your lifestyle is exactly the same now. And I'm like, they don't know about lumber liquidators. In my opinion, the most relevant societal impact of Wall Street Bets has been its influence on the gamblification of modern culture. Well, I'd argue, and I think most people intuit, that this whole undercurrent is caused by the feeling of young guys and gals being like, well, I'm never buying a house or building towards an achievable future, but if I YOLO my extra savings into a lottery ticket, I might win and get to escape. Which is really sad because this has contributed to both left and right-wing political radicalization, reinforces corporate interest in gambling features for everything, and encourages cultural attitudes that reward extremism as solutions. And the worst part, literally none of them are available in Canada. Now, if you're someone who uses Robinhood, you might be thinking, wait, they sell my order flow to Wall Street so they can have a leg up on retail traders? Well, it's okay, I guess, because sometimes they give me confetti, but if anyone were doing that with my phone number, email, and personal data, that would not be okay. Well, I've got some bad news, because I'm personally buying all your personal information from data brokers right now, so I can get a free coffee every day of the year from Starbucks. Should have been using today's sponsor, Incogni. Unlike Robinhood, where you look at the $50,000 in margin debt you have and say, well, hope this works, and delete the app, Incogni is instead an app that...
Guy did kill himself, by the way. Kind of a dark joke at the end there. W ad placement, though. A little, right? A little bit dark. That was a pretty good video. Not gonna lie. That was pretty good video. Not bad. I must admit, not bad at all. Robinhood did do that, by the way. Like, Robinhood kind of sucks for that, but I'm a big hope Flag comes on the stream, so I'm rocking with Hoodie. I'm rocking with Hood because I hope he comes on the stream. But yeah, I don't think it was just them. But if you watch the GameStop video, I think it's pretty good. That's what I'm gonna show you. Why can't I find this tweet? Who tweeted it? Here. Hold on. Can you get creator of HODL an interview? Dude, come on. Come on, bro. I have an important tweet for you. DAREAS. Here. Here. David Sachs. No longer the AI and cryptos are. He said in an interview with Bloomberg, Sachs ran out of his 130 days as special government employee. He didn't count the days consecutively, but they were set to end eventually. He'll now be the co-chair of the Science and Tech Council. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't feel like we got that much done at all. Like, did he do anything? I feel like he did nothing. Yeah, CZ pardon. And declared the pardon CZ and declared Anthropic a supply chain risk. What's good, pal? I mean, he got the Genius Act passed. That's fair. He got the Genius Act passed. That's fair. I respect him for that. That's important. I'm kind of trolling. He didn't like do nothing, but we got the Clarity Act. You got Ross pardon too. Fair. But the Clarity Act needs to get passed. New Grant Cardone video. Should we watch it?
Shitcoiners out there. Hey, all you shitcoiners out there, quit buying shitcoins and start buying real estate. You can do it with 5% down with a Fannie Mae loan right now, 4 units. You can literally get into a $200,000 complex with $10,000 and 5x or 10x your money and have cash flow and the tax write-offs. Dude, get rich in real estate. Quit with the shitcoins.
I watch these videos, I just like get mad. Like I actually just like get mad. This shit like makes me mad. Also, what 200K complex? Yeah, what are you talking about? Where are you buying a $200,000 apartment complex for? How much is an apartment complex? Apartment complex for sale. Oh, they're auctions. How do I see like sold? For sale. Where should we go? $62,000 square foot. Does it have like a total price? This looks insane. By the way, this looks beautiful. No. Doesn't have a price. Why does it not have a price? It's like on, I mean, it's like on the straight. About this direction. What about like Ohio or some shit? Oh, it's not Pow, bro. Pow's been in here. Get this kid out of here. Pow's sub before, bro. Y'all gave him a sub? Fake ass Pow. Nebraska, they play basketball today. Wow. 59 acres for 750K. That feels very realistic. $10 acres for 200. That feels very realistic. 59 acres for 750K. That feels like reasonably realistic. But you got to build a house on it, huh? Dude. This don't look half bad. Nebraska? This don't look half bad, dude. What's up with Nebraska? Chat, who here lives in Nebraska? This doesn't look half bad at all. I like don't hate this. Wait. Montana land. Let's go like investment property. I don't know anything about real estate. Montana. Chat, what if we did this thing where you all like subbed hella subs? You all dropped like hella subs, and then I bought an apartment complex and funded my life with it. You guys sub hella, and then I buy an apartment complex. Dude, 1,700 square feet for $1 million? Are we in the right Montana? Bro, just described a timeshare. Are we in the right time? This is like more expensive than I thought, dude. Let's do like land in Montana for sale. Farmer land in Montana. Should I go Zillow? Ranches for sale. Here we go. Dude. 1,200 acres for 4 M's. And there's a house on it. Upstate PA. Bro, what do you know about upstate PA, first of all? You don't know a single fucking thing about upstate PA. You don't know about fucking Spooky Nook. You don't know about Scranton. Stop with upstate PA. That's my part of town. 1,280 acres for 4 M's. Oh my God. Dude. $28 million for 14,000 acres. How many subs is that? $14 million. How many subs is that? I get like half your sub rep. Brother, remember what we're playing for. 14 M's. Remember what we're playing for. Dude, imagine hanging out here. Imagine you're kicking it on 14,000 acres and it's just me, Chumba, PP Poo Poo, Base 16Z, Fei Jiao, Good Alexander, Tulip King out there, just chopping it up, hanging out with Calvin. You don't think Calvin would be doomer if he lived here? Not a girl in sight. Don't even need it. You think if Calvin saw this shit with his own 2 eyes, he would be doomer? Honestly. Dude, this is like a country. How many people could live here? Thousands? Can we get like a little Ford? Late with the 5 gifted. Bro. An island. I know it's like a weird time for this, but $72 million. Thread, what are you looking at? Leap, you just contributed to the fund. Dude, it's $72 million. Yeah, it's crazy. You like can't one guy and you can't ever own a private island. Like nobody can do it anymore. Like you genuinely can't. It has to be like, it's got to be a peninsula. You just it has to touch somewhere. It's got to be touching the shore somewhere. Bro, spell peninsula. It's got to be peninsula. This is like reasonable. $313 for 5 M's. I just would get scared. I would get scared, like alone in these islands. I would get scared. I get really scared. This is reasonable right here. 134 acres, 1.8 mil. What do you think about Meme Scope Monday? Brother. Brother.
Boy, if you don't get...
Bro. You say Meme Scope Monday? Bruh.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
Bro, Meme Scope Monday is like gonna be the gnarliest, nastiest, like most disgusting day in the trench you ever. If you think you're finna walk out of Meme Scope Monday, the only way to make out, you know how you make money on Meme Scope Monday is you put 100 soul on your Axiom and you don't touch it. It's like Shipyard on the Call of Duty map. Wait. Is that what it's called? Shipment. Oh my god. It's called fucking ball knowledge, dude. This is what Meme Scope Monday is going to look like. Ugh, whatever. It's not a good video. You get what I was going for. Memes. Bro, I said Meme Scope Monday. It's funny. Half my timeline is talking about nuclear war, and the other half is talking about Meme Scope Monday. I'm like, both of you are fucking retards. You're actually both retarded. Like the guy who's screaming nukes and the guy who's like Meme Scope Monday. I'm like, bro, don't look at the charts on Meme Scope Monday. Don't look at charts on Meme Scope Monday. In Canada, you have to build on landmark for agriculture, so it must have similars. What do you think about Meme Scope Monday? I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to flame you. It's like, y'all worry about Meme Scope Monday while a Trump taco just retraced the full candle. It's like, what are we... There's like actually things that matter happening. You're talking about Meme Scope Monday. Soulport Tom. It's like, bro. It's March 2026. Like, look at what you just typed. Read what you just... Call a family member. Read what you just typed. And then listen to yourself to see how it sounds when you read it out loud. Ask... It's very normal. Like, that's what you should do. You Meme Scope Monday. I'm seeing people talk about me. I'm skipping school for Meme Scope Monday. It's like, no. Call your mom and like read out loud what you just typed. Because I mean, Can we talk about the white whale situation? Yeah, sure. What happened? Should I watch the video or read it? Oh my god, what the fuck? I don't want to read this shit. The white whale and the big 2-6, bro. Video or read? I was just like, you guys, the right guy, why do you only talk about stuff that isn't crypto and then this is what you fucking tell me to pull up? It's like, what? You guys fucking hate me? Does everybody hate me? Is that you fucking hate me? Be honest, do you think the Drewski Erica Kurt video was too far or no?
My dear people, my dear holders and traders.
Dude, what the fuck is this, man?
And my dear anons and apes and miners.
Nah, he did not put a laugh track right there. Oh my god, I'm so happy that we do stuff that isn't just this. Why do you put a laugh track?
And miners and stakers and farmers and lurkers and chart watchers and copy traders, market makers, moon boys and boomers.
No, I don't want to do this. 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 I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to watch this. Bro, I don't want to watch this. 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 This is just like it's like makes me feel bad about where I come from, dude. It's a message to us. Fine. It's a message to us.
Also, my good critics that I welcome back at last to my timeline. I hope you are all enjoying yourselves as much as I am. I shall not keep you long. I have called you all together for a purpose. Indeed, for 3 purposes. First,
Do you think like One Shot prompted this? Like, who made this?
First of all, to tell you that I am immensely fond of you all, and that far too short a time is given any man to spend among such excellent and admirable degenerates. I don't know half of you, half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you, half as well as you deserve. Secondly, to mark.
What the fuck was that? Just fucking spit it out, man.
Ending. I should say, not an ending only, but a passing. For there comes a time when a voice must fall silent, that the thing it spoke for may stand on its own. I wish to make an announcement.
Dude, I hate crypto.
I regret to announce that, though far too short a time it has been to spend among you.
Dude, just fucking say it, man. Fuck! Just fucking say it.
This is the end. I am going. I am leaving now. Goodbye.
Is he? He's alive? Like, I don't want to like.
The white whale, a whale for the people.
What the fuck was that? I mean, what the fuck? What was that? What the fuck was that? What did we just watch? What the fuck was that? Rated out of 10. Rated out of 10. Rated out of 10. You got to read the post, bro. Don't make me read the post. Please 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 don't make me read the post. My God. My time's almost up. I have 1 minute left. Can I read it in 1 minute? I have 1 minute left. I have 1 minute left. Can I read it in 1 minute? Oh my God. Fine. Viblet, fine. Earlier today, I made a big move in anticipation of this announcement. In a single transaction, I locked 500 million coins for is it 50% supply? A movement does not belong to the person who lit the match. It belongs to the people who carry the flames. As I mentioned publicly, I'm dealing. Oh. I hope he's okay. Jokes aside. Jokes aside. Jokes aside. I actually hope he's okay. I've been dealing with the ongoing family crisis involving my children. I hope his children are okay, genuinely. Very sincerely. It's taking a real toll on my mental health. On top of that, the daily pressure to do more to pump our bags when I've already done that more than any person leading a CTO in this space has ever is disheartening at best. And beyond all of that, I'm losing some of my passion for crypto in general. For white whale holders, yes, there is a continuity plan. While permanently locking $13 million worth of supply should be the greatest parting gift I could give you, I know the white whale meme page needs to stay active, keep producing fresh, creative, and funny content. My dear friend and loyal companion, brutal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We'll be taking over. Well, you look at my record with millions given to charities on chain. Leap, is that true? Millions distributed to members of CT and millions more spent accumulating a proper supply structure for white whale. The reality is that since 10 I've officially given more to crypto than I've taken from it. I'm okay with that. I believe in karma. I don't believe good deeds should be performed. I came to crypto deeply passionate when I believed the original premise, permissionless finance. Ironically, the reason why private success is the reason I'm losing my passion. Before 1010, I'd accumulated nearly 100 mil in P&L from a trading thesis that began with a very simple assumption. Everything is manipulated. From there, my thesis evolved into it. He made 100 mil. He did make 100 mil. Eventually, I had to confront the contradiction in that. How can I be passionate about free and open finance when operating on a thesis that says at its core it's all a lie? Pump finds a cancer on this space. You know it, I know it, and yet you keep engaging with it. Guy who runs a meme coin, by the way. Its entire business model is built on volume and volatility. The trenches are fragile because they were designed to be fragile. This is me stepping away from CT. I give the majority of these points you made, but I'll never forgive you for 3 minutes I spent watching the absolute worst AI slop ever posted on CT. Wow. I can't believe you made me watch that video, but I don't have much on it, honestly. Like, what? It's a fucking, it's meme coins in 2026, bro. It's cooked. How bad? How bad? How bad? How bad? Oh, my. Oof. You know, I sold 1% of this at like 3 mil. Chat, y'all think white whale finna pump on meme scope Monday or not? The new game is oil futures. We're commodity traders now. I would say it's the only market not manipulated, but that's being manipulated too. Y'all think white whale finna pump on meme scope Monday or not? Yes or no? Be honest. What are we buying on meme scope Monday? Threadguy coin. Download. That coin's actually pretty funny. What's the market cap? It's pretty funny. 215K. Look at this dog shit. You guys convinced me to buy this fucking dog shit. This fucking dog shit slop trash on a fake Centrini post. Whoever posted that Centrini thing deserves to be banned from trading. Just complete disgrace. My quota! I'm out! Tomorrow's a Friday stream. I love you all. I appreciate you all so much. Today was actually a very important day. Trump Taco got tacoed. Not great. Not fucking great. That means tomorrow's going to be an important stream. That means you have to pull up tomorrow to see what the fuck happens. I have a Telegram, but I'm not going to share it. I do love my Telegram. Tax day tomorrow, no shot. I was supposed to do. I can't do it. I'm avoiding them mentally. I don't want to talk about taxes. I don't want to hear about them. I don't think about it. We're not doing a tax stream tomorrow. We're doing a regular fun stream because that's what we fucking do. I love you. I appreciate you. Basketball's on. Go watch it. Have a great rest of your day, little motherfuckers. Peace.